I know, that's why I stopped talking.
Wearing it.
Because all of that unsavorable things we were saying before, but
It's
this
all
is
juicy. It's all juicy stuff.
we're leaning more and more to this grand idea of Saturday morning that I'm still trying to work out how we rebuild. But one thing about Saturday morning that we both agree is there's like 3 or maybe 4 top cartoons, and we get them at peak time to watch Saturday morning cartoons, which is right before it turned to afternoon. And I think someone can correct me, in the 11 o'clock spot is when we got, fair to say, top 3 of cartoons, especially at that time and that cast and that squad. I'm talking about X-Men the animated series, right? So
was it 11 or was it wasn't around like, I mean, it was around 10 or 11. You're right, because after like 11:30, 12, it was like there's no more shows on anymore.
Yeah, like, no, like you catch in like whatever YTV's like real people stuff is, or like there's still sunlight, and I have friends, so I'm gonna go play out until I can't play outside anymore. But regardless of the time, we've found a way to bring it back to present, because here we are again, back at it again, like we never left. Coke and Dank, Dank and Coke. We are the Lethal Weapons.
Hey, Dank.
Hey, Coke.
Why did Colossus cross the road?
Why did Colossus cross the road?
To overthrow capitalism.
If it was bad, I just would have screamed out, Ilyana!
Ilyana! There's a couple other Colossus ones.
That's good. I look forward to them.
Yeah.
Because I think we're just starting this big bubble of X-Men. I mean, we've been reading a lot. And now my feed is giving me all this X-Men current run. And like, there's all this controversy of what happens after Krakoa. So like, I'm excited to see if like it's really a cliff where everyone's just overreacting. But like, we're right in the thick of, I guess, what year are we? Like 2021 X-Men run? This is like Hickman's brainchild.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to make the connection from comics to now how we're back on cartoons.
The dawn of X. I was like, what are you talking about? 2021?
Yeah. Because to animated series, what we're talking about today, like this is the birth child of how all of us like fell madly in love with the X-Men.
So Dawn of X actually started in 2019. Sorry, just to correct.
I don't know where we are in that 2019.
Oh,
run.
where we are.
I think we're like 2 years on.
You're talking, I'm not even listening. So I'm not either.
Amazing review for a podcast.
I'm just very, very tired. I'm
not even listening.
Yeah, I'm very tired, or I'm very dense right now, or both.
Listen, fans, we love the clicks. So even if you're just talking to put us on in the background, we appreciate your download. Keep downloading. If you want to leave reviews like Coke's, how you just have the lights on but nobody's home, by all means.
Review. They're talking. I'm not even listening. But they sound like they're having fun. So.
Statboy's gonna have a field day with that. Oh, that's an amazing soundbite that we have to use for any reviews moving forward. I think the cartoon, at least for me, like solidified how much I love this team, and arguably, like I've battled with like my top, but it's at the end of the day, X-Men's kind of my favorite Marvel production that they've posted out. And I'm not talking movies, I'm not talking TV shows, I'm talking animated. Although that's what birthed the love. The fact that you could have so many diverse characters on a squad, pull them out, like give them all different personalities, but you kind of needed all of them to fight anything. There was never really, like, they tried X-Men, but there's never really an X-Men team where it's just one of them trying to take down any big bad. Now, whether that's a gang mentality or just the strength of the writing and how it's so much fun for them to play off each other, man, like I love X-Men.
Yeah.
So coming back to the animated series, oh man, loved it even more. Those voices are still built in. Every time I read a Logan comic, I have that voice. Every time I read Cyclops, I have that voice. Storm's voice, I have that voice.
Cyclops, especially for me, it's just that I don't know, something about him was just. And what's funny is that he wasn't even my favorite, but for some reason that voice just carries over better than anybody, even more so than Wolverine. I guess because we haven't really seen a different voice in live action yet, but I know what's his name did it for the original X-Men runs, but he kind of sounded like him.
Yeah.
So I guess yes. What was his name? You know what I'm talking about. He looked just like him and he sounded like him. So, but whereas like Halle Berry sounded different than Storm, and like Hugh Jackman sounded different than the original voice of Wolverine. So, but yeah, that Cyclops for sure. Whenever I hear him talk, it's to me my X-Men. Like, I can hear him, right? It's pretty good. But yeah, I love it too. Watching these back too, because we watched, what did you say, 17 episodes in total, and a whole bunch of them were two-parters
for this one. James Marsden.
James Marsden, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah, so 17 episodes in total, and a few of them were double episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them were double episodes, right? So,
and definitely in those double episodes, to piggyback off your comment, I got the voice that carried over for me the most, even though he wasn't my favorite. Fascinating.
Oh yeah, Beast. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Because like his headsy and like his take on everything was always calm, and like we have to do it by the book. But yeah, hear him again, everything was fascinating too.
I'm glad you brought it, because you know what's funny is when I started watching these, I was kind of like, he just kind of quote, like the first episode or two, I was like, oh, he just quotes everything. I don't remember him being this annoying, but then by like the middle of the episodes, like I was loving it. I was just like, I love these quotes.
He's bringing knowledge, and like
because he's always got something to say.
He has insight, and like whether or not you feel it matches, it belongs in kind of the world that they're building.
Yeah, no, it's great, and their personalities are so distinct from each other that it's just like
and different. And like Logan comes off snarky, but he has the funniest lines, so like that's why you can put up with him so much, because he gets to say the funny things. Jubilation's definitely the sub for the audience because we're trying to learn, but she can't do spit, and she's always pissed that she can't do spit.
Yeah.
My takeaway was, as much as I love the intro, and the intro's great, and like my dream when I first heard about X-Men movies was do the intro. I don't even care if you use it in the movie. Like if that's the trailer and you just live action, how all of them get their names and their brief origin stories. All of them get to kick ass when they're getting their powers, and you see their names in bright lights and explode with whatever they do. And even Jubilation gets this little firework beam when you finally see her name. But when they do the action shots, like Rogue is fighting a Sentinel, Cyclops is taking down in the danger room, the Wolverine smashing. Hers is just running up against a fence and being like, help. And then you get the snit of the Wolverine to break through. Yeah. Everyone else gets to beat up something except for her. So it's like,
that's a funny one. Yeah,
they really set us up not to like her initially because she can't even hold her own against a fence, and behind her it's just the whatever the hate group was running after. But I laughed when I noticed that. I was like, bang.
That's funny. That's maybe that's why we like. I don't like her so much because it's been ingrained in me. I've seen it so many times. Like she's the only one not doing anything.
It's true. Like she's a liability. Eventually, someone's gonna have to come and help her beat up these old guys that are damn you mutinies.
You mutinies.
And as much as I love casting lists, which I guess that falls on me, I got to do casting list. It was so much more noticeable this run that past the core X-Men, you can see who's doing voices for just random other people. Like immediately,
Wolverine's voice actor is a whole lot of people.
So is Cyclops.
So
is Rogues. Like it's just you can't ignore it. And it was a small group, right? A little ragtag bunch, but I mean, all these things that you don't pick up when you're a kid makes it more enjoyable.
And I really don't think that in the early '90s the voice actors even realized how big this is gonna be. Like.
Well, right. Like this came out in '92, and to this point, all X-Men had were trading cards and comic books, right? So if you loved it, you loved it. And video games, I take that back, right? So there's another way for us to really get into it because I've played some hard ass X-Men games and hated those motherfuckers because of it. But like the chalkboard was blank, so you get these voices to step into these pivotal roles, right? And like Professor X's voice, even though we all pictured Patrick Stewart, I think they're like Wizard Comics were already casting that. Cedric Smith's voice of Professor Charles Xavier is synonymous, right? And you can't ignore it.
Oh, I want to ask him now because I didn't. I probably should be saved for the end, but I'm going to forget if I don't. So I'm just asking now. Who do you think had the funniest yell?
Charles.
Yes, exactly.
No, that's a good call. Call that now. Because so many times he's just like his brain is too much for him. Like that's how like it fades into a commercial. I laughed like 3 times.
Yeah, his yells are hilarious.
No one else really like yells. Like it's just like oh.
Jean whines a lot, but she's more like oh, like defeated.
His is like I'm in pain. I'm an old man. Help me. I've fallen out of my floating.
Actually, in one of the episodes, you watch Storm act just like a crazy scream, like when she's in pain. It's like
That or
blood
like
curdling. I was like, whoa.
or that when she feels claustrophobic and it's like
Yeah.
but nothing to the point that I'm laughing at her.
No,
Like,
it
I've
Charles
empathized with all of the X-Men. Even like at one point Magneto's like like they fall into like the river of Savage Lands, right? But Charles is so feeble.
I can hear it now, but I can't duplicate it. It's killing me every time.
Stat boy, if you can find that soundboy.
What if I can just read her mind and
let me talk to little Andrew. Like every time. Like
how many times does this chick have to bail him? Anyways, okay.
That's love. That's true love.
All right, before we get into this, keep in mind that we have already covered the following arcs in older episodes: the Phoenix Saga, the Dark Phoenix Saga, and Beyond Good and Evil. So 3 of like the most pivotal arcs in their series. These are obviously those are like 4 and 5 part sagas, but we did those as bottle caps earlier. So if you want to listen to those, you can go listen to them. And if I don't want to hear any bitching about we didn't include those 3 because. We've already done them.
You're a fan. And with how many episodes in this entire run from 92 to 97, the one time I needed that information and that pulled me up. There's nothing to say that we won't come back. I think it's like 76 plus episodes and visit a whole bunch of episodes that we didn't do this time because there's still so much of Professor X screaming, right?
And we did spread it out on purpose. So we took 2 or 3 arcs from the multiple seasons.
Right.
So not one is more lopsided than the other. So we did spread it out, and that's kind of how we did it too. Like it wasn't just like, oh, let's just take these random ones. No, it was like, okay, 2 or 3 in this season, 2 or 3, and then went along. So, and
to the show's credit, they completely pulled storylines right off the pages of the books, right? Like Jack Kirby gets referenced, storylines, Stan Lee, Chris Claremont, John Burns, David Cockrum, Scott Lobel. Like there's a whole Fabian Nicieza, Barry Winder Smith, Terry Austin. Like there's so much comic knowledge that they tried to squeeze in here and really give us like a foundation for who the X-Men are as a team, as individuals, and like backstories and side characters and just the world that they've created, right? Like we get Fabian Cortez and it's ugly, but I knew who Fabian Cortez before I read about who Fabian Cortez was, and like that's a huge jump, right?
Yeah. Then they go deep in the toy box to get like some of these like some of these people that like I was like, wow, these like some of these background mutants. It's crazy how deep they go. It's like, wow, they really just no holds barred. They got everybody they could. And they said there's some original storylines, but most of them are from the comics, and then all blends well.
A few callbacks too, right? I'm surprised they didn't do it more with the amount of teams that they've actually had with the X-Men, but some characters that they introduce end up coming back in seasons later. Some villains obviously set the tone early to come back later. Some time travelers you get to see one way, and then they come back with different versions of X-Men, right? Like that was a storyline that we went through. It was great. Are we going to do like pros and cons of the entire run of the series, or are we just going to do reviews? Because I have like a couple nitpicks that looking back, maybe towards the end, we'll talk about those of just like, oh, I hope, like, because obviously we're dropping this before 96 drops, which were
97.
Is it called 97?
Yeah, X-Men 97.
Okay, my bad.
Because this ended in 96. And then...
Fair enough. And that's on the heels, right? So as 2 very avid and enjoying animated series X-Men fans are, the fact that they went back to the same well where all this good shit came from, like, man, the bar's raised.
Okay, so do you want to talk about album that we're covering in this episode? Or we wrote it in the description. So
I definitely want to give a shout out to voice casting because we talked about it. Yeah, we're going to do 17 episodes of them. So Cedric Smith doing Professor Charles Xavier, George Buza playing Beast, Dr. Hank McCoy, Allison Court playing Jubilation Jubilee. And then what's your take on Jubilation, on how her actual name should have been her code name and her code name should have been her actual name? Sorry to take that completely out of your mouth, but
you gotta have something different, man.
That's a coke take.
Yeah, that is.
Lenore Zane playing Rogue, Kat Dodd playing Wolverine, Logan, Catherine Disher playing Jean Grey, Norman Spencer playing Cyclops, Scott Summers, Chris Potter playing Gambit, Remy LeBeau, Allison Seeley Smith playing Storm, Orohu Monroe, Lawrence Bain playing Cable.
Aurora.
I
love how you can't pronounce anything.
I mean, keeping on trend. Don Franks playing Sabretooth, Ron Rubin playing Morph, Mark Strange playing Forge, Philip Akin playing Bishop, and shoutouts to John Colisco playing Apocalypse because he appears. Oh, George Murner plays Magneto. He also appears. And a rare Laylee Cadeau, Dr. Moira Matager. She has a video window in one of these episodes. All right, let's go. Oh, wait, no. I didn't say Storm. What did I say wrong? They have 2 people playing Storm.
Yeah, but is that season 5 stuff? Because some voices change in season 5, and so we don't talk about season 5. We will talk about season 5 because we have two arcs that are from season 5, but we'll probably never talk about season 5 again.
They don't break it down, but it's less episodes. Is the other
Yeah.
Bolivar Trask. All right, let's get into this.
Bolivar Trask. Yeah.
Season 5 is terrible. We should start off by talking about it because it's so bad. Animation changes, intros changes, outros change, storylines change.
But then the outro song is the old intro song, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?"
And
the new remix sucks.
Stinks. It's more guitar, and not only do you change the riffs in the intro, you change the iconic intro and just give us a clip show of like different scenes within the show that I've been watching. Nobody said change it. Like nobody had a problem with the amazing original intro.
Stupid.
Season 5.
Just stupid.
Season 5.
Stupid.
They lost a lot of. I mean, must have run out a lot of money, eh?
Yeah. Well, a lot of these things just kind of ran out of funding. I know, with for example, for this, I don't know how this one ended, but I know with the Spider-Man one, there was a disagreement like in the boardroom, and they're like, "No, we're just going to end it now." So I wouldn't be surprised. And that was the same production. I think this was Simon, right? So it could have been a similar thing where they just like end it now and that's it.
Yeah, but with the Spider-Man,
I guess I should have done my research on that. But I don't.
That's for the second episode. Yeah. This one's just talk about all about the cartoon and how much of a kids we are.
Although this one did have a natural ending with Graduation Day,
yes.
Whereas the Spider-Man animated series didn't. It was like, let's go find Mary Jane finally, and then that was the last episode. They managed
to include Madam Web. So without that, we never would have got what we currently have on Sony's docket. So.
Oh, God bless them. There also was rumors of. Or not rumors, I shouldn't say rumors, but there is interest by the original creator of the Spider-Man animated series that he wants to copy, I don't remember his name, the guy who got fired. His idea on like Bo Devin, the guy who got fired for...
I'm with you.
Yeah. So his continuation of this series, the creator of the Spider-Man animated series, like, all they got to do is call me and we can make it happen. To continue the Spider-Man series, which was actually never even finished. So that would be amazing. And this is the new trend.
Yeah, I want more Madam Web episodes.
Do it with this, do it with gargoyles, do it with I'm all
more Spider-Man clones.
Yeah,
more Spider-Man in other dimensions.
The
worst of the episodes. More Spider-Man on Battle World, assembling teams from all across Marvel.
Isn't that funny that like the Avengers movies might be copying? Or they might be following suit of what the animated series Spider-Man show did.
But like that was the whole point. You're supposed to pull from look how long it took them DC to start pulling from the animated series Batman. Like that was iconic for us, and that's what we were raised on. Like that's all how half of us got started in noir and dark noir and this sort of silhouette style of cartoon and imagery and storytelling. And we were getting cartoon Batman. Well, we got Burton's, but then they went cartoon and fluorescent. They had to remember, no, these kids can handle it. You just keep a lot of stuff in the shadow, right? Like daytime's not necessary in this world. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if now producers at a large and big board room presidents and vice presidents are like, let's just do more cartoons because thank you for Spider-Man Across the Universe, and let's steal from more cartoons, even if we're turning that into live action, into movies, or into more cartoons, right? Like the animation never suffers. Like we could have built our entire podcast of just DC straight to theater or straight to DVD, straight to streaming animated classics at this
We've
point, right?
we've done 4 whole episodes on the DC movies,
And we have another
and
one
there's
coming
still
up.
ones we haven't
Yes.
covered. So
There's still
and
movies we haven't seen. Yeah,
we love the majority of them, right? There's some stinkers, but like
even if it's bad, it's ambitious.
yeah,
Even if it's terrible, it's like, hey man, like I'm glad you gave it a shot, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't have to wait 3 years for a movie that like I didn't like from the beginning and you didn't even like. So you invested all this money and time and casting, and we're still complaining about leather suits.
And DC's been doing it since 2007. Doomsday was 2007, man. So they've been on a roll. I mean, they didn't bridge the universe until after that, but still, they've been doing animated straight to video class. Oh, I think Doomsday may have been a theatrical release, but still, nevertheless.
And
even before that, because Mask of the Phantasm was even before that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But
that, straight out of animated
you know,
yeah.
so
and I'm sure there's like
DC's on another level. I wish them well with the new live action stuff.
And understanding the continuity problem of we don't care if you're giving us a Batman in this time, cool. If you're giving us a Superman in this time, fine. Just say that from this jump. Like I'm still gonna go watch a Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Justice of America. Like I watched all those. Didn't care that they didn't line up.
Look, I was gonna say that people are getting a little sick. We're kind of off topic a little bit, but I think in general people are getting a little sick of the shared universe thing. You can do you've been saying this forever.
No, they're getting shared of the multi-universe.
Well, I'm sick of that. But it's like you don't need.
Well, like Marvel tries to tie it together.
You don't need to tie every single thing. You can just have things standing there. And you said it forever. You've been saying this forever. It's like Batman's the perfect example of that. You can just have
Batman, Brave and Bold,
different, and they don't have to connect.
Beyond? Nope.
It's just he's just so versatile as a character. You just do that, right?
He's literally an immortal. Like they've made this guy a 60-year-old property. Just keep pumping him out, man. Nobody cares.
Like you can do a Superman Red Sun movie and have not connect to the new DCU. Just have it standalone.
As a standalone, a what if? Like if you need to put a what if on everything in order for you to do it.
But there are great stories that are out of continuity that should be told.
You know what a great story in continuity is? Night of the Sentinels.
Thank you. Do you want to run through the whole list of episodes, or are we just going to do the one at a time? I guess.
No, we'll hit it as we call it. Yeah.
Night of the Sentinels. I couldn't even say that. That was brutal, wasn't it?
No, that was some karma for my Storm Butcher job.
Season 1, Episode 1, and Episode 2. This was one of the ones that had to be on this docket. This one and Graduation Day had to be on the docket. Everything else we kind of just
winged it.
But yeah, this is the very first episode. Very first episodes of the series, and you can really tell that. I'll give the synopsis. Tensions are rising over mutants, and we are introduced to the world through Jubilation Lee, best code name, who is being tracked by a giant Sentinel robot. She runs into Storm, Rogue, and Gambit in the mall, and things go from there. Right? She gets brought into the team and all that jazz. So just right away, boom, you're in. Like you were saying from jump, she's our eyes. Us being the audience, and we meet these characters. You can tell in these episodes the personalities are larger than life, because I think they pulled them back in a bit later on when they realized what they had, but they were just really, really focused on.
This is the first one out the gate. You don't know if there's going to be winner. Be bold.
Yeah.
Shine strong.
Really southern, and like Storm is really
Logan's
loud.
Really angry, and they're going up against Sentinels. They're like, "Yo, we're going for big bads, right?" And good lord, we've been waiting for an actual Sentinel accurate Sentinel to like break through on TV screens and movie screens. But back then, this is what we had. We had these purple pink dudes. They were huge and menacing and voice. Oh, who's voice casting for Sentinels? Gonna be a shout there.
Oh yeah, could be. Is it the original autotune?
You could. Nobody's flipped that yet.
It's interesting though. As a kid, some of these things went over my head, it was kind of nice watching this as an adult, like the whole mutant control agency hiding within the government.
Right.
Like I just thought it was one and the same as a kid. I was like, oh, it's just the government, but it wasn't. It's a pocket group within the government that they don't even know about.
Yeah, like a little tea party. Shoutouts to David Fox as Sentinels. I'll probably be doing more shouts as we talk about different characters, because Sauron's coming up.
Also, we're gonna litter these things with quotes, because there's some great quotes in this.
And we can be littering these things with things we remember when we were kids, because now we remember when we were adults. And like, I had no idea this meant this.
Do you want to save the quotes for the ends of the episodes?
No, man, let's keep everything in.
Had enough, Cajun? Just say oncle. Like that. That actually made me laugh. Wolverine said that too when he gets to an argument. Just say uncle. I was like, oh man.
They had a nice dynamic too. I like the Logan Gambit trade off.
Yeah. So because they're both
Remy
rebels.
Wolverine. Yeah.
Yeah, both tough guys, but in different ways.
Both outsiders, both find a family, but both kind of still want to do it their own way, which is an amazing. In a team where they have like 3 different leaders, those are like atypicals. Like, I'm going on my own, bub.
Yeah.
I'm not with the team anymore. It's like, what is this? We have one rule: follow. Can't do
all the you know what, man? The only male in the group that pussy ain't gonna get him killed is Beast.
He has his episode though.
But he doesn't. But that's not Cyclops. Pussy's gonna get him killed
immediately.
Gambit. Pussy's gonna get him killed. Wolverine. Pussy's gonna get him killed over and over again. He's got all these different like.
That man's the Honey Potter. Like he's fallen in so many traps.
Beast is just doing his thing. He's more into his.
But is that because that's not the life that Beast lives? Like Beast has to deal with people that look at him as a monster from 6 feet back, right? Like he's got that thing where he's got to track down blind chicks to be like, this is who I truly am, which is sad but hilarious. But like again, sad.
Or AI, or when the AI dies.
Or like aliens. So, like when he was in space, I'm sure he's getting on with some other Shi'ars.
I bet he was killing it. I bet he was crushing up there.
Or he was pansexual and going after Galactus's booty.
You never know.
Sorry, not Galactus, Gladiator. Unless he,
your boy.
Unless he really like big booty, because goddamn, Galactus.
Your boy.
I can't stand him. Terrible character.
But yeah, in a very short time, they really give a good look at the X-Men's personalities. Like we were saying, the nerdy Beast, the Regal Storm, the Boy Scout Cyclops, the Charmer Gambit, Playful Morph, Grouchy Wolverine. But yeah, it's
the Lost Jubilation.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah. This episode also has the punch to the gut.
It does.
The literal punch to the gut. Yeah.
And this episode starts off as a 2-parter, has like real ramifications. You really see a line in the sand of like what it means to be on this team and what it means to go on a mission, right? Because they have to leave dudes behind, and like that's for your first episode. You're already like, you're either saying Logan was right or like Cyclops was right. Like you're picking that like for the team or for each member, and bold, right? But that's X-Men. They really can't pull punches in the world that they live in, right? Like hate is real.
Yeah. So for those who don't know it, I don't know I don't know who wouldn't know this, who's listening to this, but they what happens is a few of the X-Men are captured and the rest of the team goes in to save them.
Right.
And to like this, to the facility of the Sentinel facility to take them back. And what happens is on the way out, Beast and Morph are taken down, and it's comes to a split second decision that they tell in flashbacks, which is really cool.
Yeah,
because I'm talking about 2 episodes. When we do these multi episodes thing, I'm just going to talk about it as one. They tell in flashbacks that Cyclops made the call to leave them behind to save the rest of the team because they were overpowered by the Sentinels, right? And this is kind of the first fissure you see between Cyclops and Wolverine, because Wolverine's like, leave no man behind, but Cyclops is like, for the better of the team, we got to get out of here.
So you get to draw the line, right? So either you're saying Cyclops is right, or no, man, Logan's got a point. Were you already taken up with Wolverine?
No, I agree with Cyclops.
I was going with Wolverine.
It's funny, isn't it funny how we switched like that?
It took a while for us to find our true footing.
Yeah, you kind of got like, sorry, but we got to go. What was really, really dope, which I thought was...
But like that's, and for Logan specifically, like that's his heart. Like Beast and Morph are his boys, so like he takes that even personally, because you start to see within the large scale of the X-Men team, all of them have pocket kind of connections and usually like leaning on one or the other. So it's like a slap in the face that like Scott's like, nah, your boys got to stay, but you can come, right? That's how I took it back then.
Yeah. No, back then I was like, Cyclops, you jerk, but it's as an adult, I'm like, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like
go. The team,
the team, the unit is more important, right? Which sucks because, like in my heart, I'm like, no, you can't leave no man behind. But at the same time, what was really, really dope is that at the end of the episode, when Cyclops is like, Gene, do you think I did the right thing? I was like, that just made him so much more likable, because it's like he has doubt, but he just can't show it to the team.
Generals can't show fear. You
can't,
got to
but
be all in with
he
whatever decision, right or wrong. Yeah, man.
yeah, but he can talk to his lady about it. Like, listen, I like.
Who's like a co-captain too, so she gets
Yeah.
it all from the military side.
I thought that was really, really dope.
This also started a trend that you'll start seeing throughout the series. Like, there's numerous times where like the team's like, "We gotta go, we'll be back," and
Yeah.
like the X-Men that stays there is just like, "All right, I got this." So, like, they'll either make the sacrifice or they just trust. Like, my team's got their back.
Yeah.
It just sucks for the first one out. Morph couldn't handle it really, and Beast was like, Beast was G about it. Like all through the first like 5 episodes where he's incarcerated. He's just like, "No, no, come." But like Morph started wigging out, man. And
Well,
you see how it is.
They thought Morph was dead too, right? So they really abandoned him. They only because they thought Morph was dead.
But is that the rule for X-Men? Like, if it's body down, you're not taking corpse out of there? Like, that's more the reason I want to take him back.
No, it's not the rule at all. Just because when they went to go free, when they got the Beast, he was the only one in the cell, right?
Yeah,
Morph didn't have a cell.
And then Morph gets his whole dark storyline.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
We will.
How about Jubilee's dad? He had a crazy change of heart from dropping a dime to being a bro. You see that? Like, he's just like, remember when Guy Ritchie came to the house? He's like, oh yeah, they're here. And then as soon as he dropped the dime, he's like, he called Cyclops, like, listen, man, I set you up.
Immediate change of heart. And like, all right, like, my daughter's with you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this up a few times. I'm sure you will too. I'm gonna be laughing about
how they react to shit.
Reactions change so fast because the runtime's only like the 20-minute runtime, so things have to move quickly. So
that and the parents were really like legit and cool with like, Jubilee's gonna live with all these strangers with superpowers.
Yeah,
like it's safer for me. I'll learn more. And like, I've been your father for 16 years, and you just going with all these strangers. And like, a dude shows up in a full out blue skin suit with yellow underwear over it, and he's like, like, the voice is powerful, but like, I'm not trusting you with my 16-year-old daughter to just walk off and say I'm going to a school for the gifted. Like, I've seen enough criminal minds to be like, that's a van. Don't get in that van.
No, it's not happening. You're not doing this. It's cool. You get an introduction to Henry Gyrick and Bolivar Trask. They're both in this, and they're just talking about how they want to move their project across seas because Madam President, female president in 1992, by the way.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. She shut down their program because she's actually against it. And they're like, no, we got to move this across seas. Like, it's kind of cool how like there's this political edge to it
that never shies away. They keep that heavy on the kind of the gas too.
And like I was saying earlier, as a child, I didn't quite grasp all that perfectly. Right. I just know bad guys that work for the government, but it's not really. They're an organization within the government. Anything else you want to say with this?
Barry Flatman, played by Henry Peter Gingrich, played by Barry Flatman, and Bolivar Trask, played by Brett Halsey.
Anything else you want to see? Because at the end of these, I did want to talk about cameos because there's quite a few cameos in almost every episode. This one, we get Sabretooth, Senator Kelly, Magneto, Domino, and Cannonball, but they're all on TV. So that's why there's just quick little cameos, which is really cool because Cannonball's in this a lot, but he's not. He cameos a few times, but we don't really get much of him, which is kind of cool. Because
fun nod.
Yeah.
But as a voice actor, Adrian Egan.
Yeah. Okay, it takes us to Deadly Reunions, Season 2, Episode 4. Is that wrong right now? No, that's not the right one. Season 1, Episode 4. There we go. That's what I miswrote that. Season 1, Episode 4. Okay. It opens with Professor X mind dipping into Sabretooth's head to try and find the source of his rage since they've taken him in, and Wolverine's big mad about it.
Dummy.
Right, yeah. This happens in the comic books too. This happens in the comic books, not exactly in this way, but there is a moment. I can't remember which issues exactly, but I was reading them as a kid, and I was like, "Whoa!" And it leads to the what's the word I'm looking for? The iconic showdown between Sabretooth and Psylocke. If you remember, like from he fucks her up. He and people are mad because like that wouldn't happen, but in this, man, you guys underestimate a Sabretooth. I know you don't, but I'm like
top bad for this series for sure. Sabretooth played by Don Franks, and man, that voice is also synonymous to how I hear Sabretooth when I read him again.
Yeah.
There's so much life to it. There's so much like angst. There's anger, but there's still like a playfulness of like, come closer. Like, you could trust him. Like he's like a epitome of big bad wolf.
Yeah.
and he always ends up inside the walls of Professor X.
Yeah,
inside the walls of Professor X mansion, and it never works out well for anybody who wants.
No.
King of traps.
This is the introduction to Magneto's plans and his ideals of Homo Superior. So you get, because I think the episode before this we didn't watch it was called Enter Magneto. So it's kind of like this is kind of like the continuation of that episode where they where they bring in Sabretooth and whatever.
And what do you think of that kind of story plot? Because each episode always had a previously on.
Yeah.
And there's seemingly, until kind of season 5 falls apart, always a through line of this character is going to move on to this episode, or these characters are going to go do these things, right?
I love Serial. I love Serial episode. This is probably this show.
I love Serial. I love Serial,
and I love Serial like breakfast cereal, and I love Serial episodes too.
Nailed it! Boom. Six bottle caps for that review.
I can't remember what I was going to say, but yeah. This is probably this series and other series like it, like Spider-Man and Batman and Man series, are probably why I like Serial content so much. Like I can't stand one shots. I like things that take time to develop and open
and carry over and reward the audience and watcher for what they saw last week, right? And we were glued, right? So the fact that you're telling me, remember this story that you saw last week? Here's it unfolding even more with Magneto, right? And Magneto's a staple in this series, either to ideals, characters, or the mutants that he's assembled to fight the X-Men.
So a little side note here. There's two gifts that Dank and I sent each other, and usually because Wolverine was my favorite as a kid and Cyclops was his favorite as a kid. Those are who represent us in the gifts. And one of the first one is the one we talked about at the beginning, where Wolverine punches Cyclops in the stomach,
walks right off the Bluebird jet, and straight hooves him right into the stomach and walks off.
And this episode has the other one, where Wolverine's mad and Cyclops just patting him on the back.
But a gift formation is just repeated, so it's just like Wolverine loading up and down, like bouncing, it looks like Cyclops is burping them, but it's great. Yeah, that's their dynamic. One's trying to calm and one's trying to hype up.
Yeah, so we send those back and forth because they work in order and out of order. Yes. But it's funny that I didn't even realize it was in this one. So
I did. I couldn't wait.
The punch I knew was in the first one, but this I didn't realize. So I laughed on this one.
I forgot about the punch, but you could see like when Logan's in the background and he's still like, this is it. Yeah.
Storms over.
Like, couldn't wait for the mission over to be like, I didn't like your fucking call there, bub.
Yeah, but this one, Magneto attacks a chemical plant simply just to lure Charles in. That's all. He just attacked a chemical plant just to bring Charles to meet him, who lets his X-Men fight for him, by the way, and lose. This is like X-Men. It's funny because in the first episode, against the Sentinels, they lose, and then this episode against Magneto, they lose again.
They lost it in episode 3 when they first meet him. They're like, they're not ready for it, and he leaves on his own, kind of like, I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah,
but you would think with the friendship that Magneto and Professor X have, that Magnus could have been like, hey man, come over, and Charles would be like, sure. Not take over an entire planet, like burn it down.
Ridiculous.
He's playing 3D chess, and Charles is like, I wanted to play Goldfish, man. I have other things to deal with. Like, it's amazing that at least we get the growth of Magneto's kind of intellect and friendship with Charles, but Charles has been the exact same, I think, from beginning to end. Like his motto hasn't changed, his love for his X-Men haven't changed. Whether or not he was right on how he does things doesn't really change, but his respect for Magneto and like his understanding of like, it's basically my friend, right? Like if I truly needed him, he would help me, as opposed to I'm gonna attack him or like beat up his girlfriend so he comes to to talk to me. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is, and it's also to your point about how Magneto could have been like, "Hey, man, what's up?" Charles could have also been the first one in, but he sent his team in first and waited till they all got decimated before he showed up. It's like,
that is definitely a theme of the man in the yellow chair. It's like, I'm with you, my X-Men. Yeah, but you're not really with us. Like, we're frontline infantry, and you decided that you want to be in a like flight tower in another country. He's He's controlling the drones. If this is the new one.
There's holes here as you watch when you're older. It's like this doesn't make sense. This is literally because the action scenes in this, a lot of these action scenes don't even need to be here. They're just there for kids. It's
Yes.
like, oh yeah, no, just this fight, because this whole thing didn't have to be a fight scene.
And they're fun. And
They're fun. They're awesome. Yeah.
They definitely have to like tailor back how strong Professor X is, because he really didn't need to go in there to like stop everything.
Yeah.
He could have like removed the entire roof off the place and like come my X-Men and floated them out.
Yeah.
But like I got to take my chair. My chair's cool.
We're introduced to Storm's claustrophobia in this, so
Wild.
more character development, which is really cool.
And character development between Rogue and kind of Cyclops. Cyclops
Yeah,
is
CPR, and then you learn more about Rogue too, because you're right. He does a CPR,
Yep.
or she does a CPR, and she just. So it's cool the team falls apart because it's unexpected how they do it.
They
Rogue-
lose both leaders immediately.
Yeah.
And Professor X kind of being the third leader is like, you sure you need me? Ah! And they're like, Rogue's like, I can't. And then I feel like they downplayed Rogue too, because she's still as strong. She has to do CPR on Cyclops, who like passes out and basically dying of like smoke inhalation. Kind of saves him, but develops the psionic blast, right?
Yeah.
I feel she's still strong enough that she'd be like, where's the goddamn wall? And just smash through shit.
Yeah.
But, she gets Professor X to kind of walk the path.
And the way Xavier beats Magneto in this is
just beats.
he makes him relive the Holocaust. That's what he does.
Yeah. Which has been circling now on internet recently because of 96, and now everyone's like, Magneto is right. I was like, oh.
And Magneto's like, no, stop. Please stop. And he just keeps going.
Just the little boy's like, you have to. So, like, maybe this is why I have to blow up a chemical plant. Last time I met for chess, you reminded me that, like, I was beat till I was 16. So, fuck with you.
No holds barred for Charles Xavier. No holds barred.
Also, no holds helmet does nothing. This helmet does nothing.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Does he upgrade it later on? I guess he must.
I don't know. Like, it's a cartoon, so as much as we want to take serious, we know like animators and writers weren't heavy on that continuity of how little certain things along the path will have like larger ramifications, and actually there's lines of dialogue and exposition and like rules that have been built in by comic creators and now movie logic. But I mean, that's for internet geeks to laugh about and critique online.
We learned that Sabretooth is a plant and Jubilee is an idiot. We just get more. This is the 4th episode in the series, and we get more confirmation that Jubilee's just an idiot.
Yeah, so I was gonna say they didn't spoon feed us, but you went right when I thought you were gonna go left with us. They definitely give us all these kind of big ideas and big character swings of, if I see this guy again, I know he's this, and he's connected to this person and this person. So I love it, right? But I guess I hate Jubilee. I hate jubilation. You have to listen. This is a 2-man podcast.
Yeah, no, but like they have Sabretooth locked up at the base, and he's like, "Oh, my arm hurts."
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, let me just loosen the braces for you." What do you think's gonna happen?
This is a 16-year-old that ran away with basically the circus and trusted all of them equally. Now, amazing that you could trust these guys, but that's her frame of reference. If I see something big and furry, that's nice to me.
That these guys I trust don't trust.
Right? Well, that's locked up. But again, he made it within the walls, so that's bad move, Professor X. You could find like a little outpost. Like they don't have a safe house where you would put like potential dangerous. Like
that's right. He's like in the middle of the comms room. He's just locked up.
You don't know how combustible he is with Wolverine. Like Wolverine can smell him and be like, it's a fight.
Yeah.
But, to progress the storyline, Jubilee makes several dire mistakes. They have AI. You could put them in the danger room to be like hooked up and just like running around. Anyway.
Yeah, it's stupid. Anyways, what this episode ends up doing in the end is
giving us a kick-ass fight between Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Yep, that. Yeah, actually, that was awesome. He jumps on him.
Yeah,
like takes him size different. Yeah.
Yes, and it's something that like fans now notice. Like Sabretooth's got like 3 feet on him, maybe.
Yeah, easy. Sabretooth. I don't know what Sabretooth's height is, but I know Wolverine's shorter than we are. Like he's like 5'2", I think.
and
5'3".
he goes straight for the body and takes him down. So like he's sturdy, like he's stout, he's strong, but he always takes the fight regardless of size, right? And that's a character trait that you can't list off, or he can tell you. You got to see that shit.
So Wolverine's 5'3". Victor
Good
Creed.
Lord.
Victor Creed is 6'6".
Yo, that guy's getting no swipes on any like Tinder apps. 5'3"?
5'3".
He's lying. He's at least saying he's like 5'3".
Sabretooth is 6'6".
Yeah.
So he's damn near 7 feet, and Wolverine just get in there like.
And goes for it every time, right? But like, I like they don't sugarcoat how tiny he is when he jumps on him. Like he's like a fifth of his body.
Yeah. It looks even smaller than 5'3".
He's a great running back, but like, come on, Sabretooth's all-pro linebacker.
But yeah, what this episode ultimately does is set up the Brotherhood versus X-Men conflict.
Awesome.
Because Magneto basically forms the Brotherhood off of this. Right? That's when he starts to. Anyways, cameos: Deadpool, Maverick, and Omega Red, all in flashbacks.
Bang!
Pretty cool stuff.
And nice to know, like a tease for something that's going to come later, right? Not just something on TV that we never know is actually going to come to fruition.
Till Death Do Us Part, Season 2, Episode 1 and 2. This is basically the spiritual successor to Night of the Sentinels.
And the first time we really know that Pussy's going to get Scott killed.
Yeah, Pussy gets killed. Yes, because this is Scott and Jean's wedding day, and Wolverine. This killed. I had a
How salty do you have to be on the wedding day? Not only on the wedding day, to book time in your danger room.
Yeah.
But you make your adversary the groom for the wedding? Like, come on, bro. He's fighting Cyclops.
He misses the wedding because he's in the danger room killing Cyclops.
Just get worked. And and he goes into the tux too. Like these, there's so many red flags for Logan here. Like you wore your game day suit in there, and systematically his tuxedo becomes just like shorts and like and like a garter belt of a white shirt. He's like, sorry, Jean, I must have lost track of time.
Jean comes and finds him, and he's just like in his. She's like, you
tattered rags.
You missed the whole wedding.
The entire wedding.
Because you're in here fighting Cyclops robots.
She doesn't know that, but
she didn't do that part. Yeah.
But like this is a team here, Logan. Like you knew that today was the wedding, even if you didn't want to go. Like even if you just want to stay in the back, you decide to make the hardest level on your danger room program to be like, I got to burn off some steam because this guy likes the girl that I like. Well, loves the girl that I like.
Yeah.
Jean. And then still tries to admit that he loves her. And she like walks her. He's like, no, I can't, man. Like, damn. Like, biggest cock block. He's like 5'3", too. How's he getting laid?
Yeah. I don't know how he gets laid. But he's got a lot of X's in this, so.
He was just there first. He's so old.
Yeah, he's just there.
It's the God theory. It's the Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
God's not all powerful. He was just alive a long time. Yeah. He learned a lot because he's just been there.
That's a fair review.
But if that's true, you can't be this salty, man. Like, bro, at least change your outfit. Like you have how many Wolverine suits that you like to battle in?
No, he likes his little yellow plaid with the brown vest or brown jacket over it.
He still had the bow tie tied when he started. Like that's the corsage was still in. I'm talking about the
you're talking about the danger room. I thought you meant in general.
That he didn't take off.
Yeah.
That was going to be one of my nitpicks throughout this series. Like, there's so many variant costumes for all these guys in the X-Men that we don't get enough until kind of like season 4, season 5.
Yeah, they started to experiment a bit. So Senator Kelly's now president. We get introduced to Graydon Creed, but we don't. Did we know Victor Creed's name by this point?
If you did the work, but he never kind of revealed it, and if it did, it would have been like a throwaway line from Charles.
Because I know it's a reveal later on that he's Sabretooth's son, but
yes, but Wolverine never calls him Victor, and it only gets referenced by like basically staff or like higher up from the Weapon X program.
The return of Morph too as the Minister. Then he mixes up the X-Men by making Gambit kiss Rogue, turning up Beast Danger Room, and sending Jubilee and Charles away on their own. Just the one dude really messed the team up.
That was the one takeaway. Like Morph almost took down the entire X-Men team, which was insane.
Yeah.
The only fucking outlier was the dude that could smell his scent.
Yeah.
Like if he could somehow break Wolverine's nose, that dude would have killed them all.
All he did was confuse them. That's it.
This was also the callback of maybe another of my favorite. I don't know if you can call it a quote, but definitely a soundbite. Morph's.
Yeah, he's got a great laugh.
His evil laugh is amazing. Well, his snarky laugh is just amazing, right?
Yeah.
He uses it all the time.
Yes, so like you said, he takes down the entire team by himself, except for Wolverine, and then Psyche and Jean on their honeymoon are attacked by the Nasty Boys and Sinister. So we get a whole lot of introductions here. They're really just opening the doors in this one. It's like, okay, this guy's the president now. This guy's this guy's back. This guy's here. It's like, whoa, okay. So there's a lot going on in these 2 episodes.
6 episodes, they open up the world of like what X-Men really have to deal with, right? Mm-hmm. Lee Carson playing Senator Robert Kelly, John Stalker playing Graydon Creed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And of course, Sinister is obsessed with the genetics of the Summers, especially. So
strong DNA, man.
Yeah, they beat them off, and so he
wait,
they beat them off. No pause. They beat that. That's funny. How they beat them off, and Morph turns sides once again. Because he unlocks like Morph's dark side or something. What was that? Like
he like kind of infects him with his DNA, and like he gets bags under his eyes. That's how
that's how
knows.
He's evil now. Yeah.
He's evil. Yep. But Chris Britton playing Mr. Sinister. But that's Sinister's MO, right? Like I'm just gonna squad up, and everyone's gonna be evil for my benefit. He's definitely I've created frontline infantry because I'm not fighting nobody until I actually have to fight somebody.
Yeah. So it turns out that so Charles is sent to Antarctica to meet with Magneto. So because Morph tricked both of them.
Professor X not smart enough to use his brain to be like, "Hey, Meg, you looking for me?"
It's really weird. That's like, let's go meet in Antarctica. I know they say these coordinates. Sorry, they don't say Antarctica. They say these coordinates, and they both end up in the same coordinates just to get duped by Sinister and then stuck in the Savage Land.
So like, Sinister had a good master plan.
Yeah, oh yeah, Sinister's on top.
He only had to send in Morph to like take down all these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and just like the Beast being locked up in the first season, the second season has that through line of Magneto and Charles in the Savage Land. It's like it's like a subplot, which is
amazing B storyline that we get as viewers, and so much character development because it's 2 men without their powers, so you really see them lean on their friendship and kind of their wits.
Yeah.
And with Professor X walking,
and how they bond and the respect that grows for each other and stuff, and yet you really realize that like Magneto's not really the villain here. He's just they just have different beliefs.
And Pussy could have got Professor X killed if he went for that frog lady.
Oh yeah, the frog lady, yeah. Some slime amphibious pussy.
The right half was, dare we say, woman.
Cameos: Tommy, which is the girl with the color hair. The purple, and her name's Tommy.
It's not Vertigo? That's not what
she looks like. Yeah, looks like Vertigo. It's not Vertigo. Tommy, Ape, Mole, Magneto. Maybe the camera. Mole's funny because he's just like he's just on the street. He's like like the crowds are coming to get him. He's always like this, just like this. He's even in the Reign of X stuff we're reading. The Reign of X stuff we're reading. He's like, it's like I'm sick of being picked on all the time. So he like snitches on somebody. I can't remember. We just talked about him. But
I hope he comes back so you can call him out.
Yeah, Mole. Yeah, he sucks. I shouldn't say that. He's pacifist. I just dismiss guys. I'm just like
no. There's 2 rating systems for X-Men here. They either suck or they're good because there's a lot of like for the amount of stuff that they do with the Morlocks and Caliban and shit. You guys suck. Like X-Men to kind of make it. So I will allow your definition of they suck or they're good because I think it helps everybody listening.
Moving on to Red Dawn, season 2, episode 4.
Let's do it. We're going to Russia.
You wanted this episode. There was one of the requests that when we were putting these episodes together was Dank said he wants the one where Colossus says,
Ilyana!
And he says it a lot in this.
So much. It's so great. Played by the legendary Tara Strong. She plays Ilyana.
I didn't even realize that.
Look at that, eh?
Wow.
We also get Robert Cate playing Colossus. And give me a second to find where it is, but keep talking until I look up.
It's a shame that we never really get to see Ilyana again after this. I think it's her only appearance, isn't it? Or we never get to see Magic anyways.
I feel like that's stuff that they would have eventually touched on if this was what we wanted it to be, like a 12 season show that like kept going, and they brought in new writers and updated the animation. Like, oh, we're doing New Mutants now. They could have won so many. You know how many spin-offs they could have done off X-Men cartoon? They could have built their own Saturday morning. Because Logan eventually would have gone off to his own forest, and we just would have been doing Logan adventures, right?
Yeah. So I hope to see her in X-Men 97. You know, she's one of my favorites. I think one of your favorites too. We love Ileana. We're Magic fans here. So, anyways, it's not about her, although it is about her. It's just not about Ileana. The whole episode about it.
And Jubilation gets shot.
Yeah, this takes place a couple episodes after the last one, when Magneto and Charles found themselves in the Savage Land and are powerless. So they're still there. They're fighting T-Rexes and stuff. They're running away from T-Rexes and geysers and stuff.
It doesn't happen yet, but the episode where someone rides a T-Rex made me laugh way longer than it needed to. Yeah. But I love it.
The former Soviet Union releases Omega Red, who as a kid I thought was like the ultimate bad guy. I thought Omega Red was so damn cool when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this guy's badass.
Yeah, so he's in your wish list for big bads that you wanted to see then.
Yeah. I have a soft spot for him. I don't know but he just like so badass. The Russian, the metal, the whiplash things.
Played by Len Dorfchest. Donchev.
So the former Soviet Union releases Omega Red in hopes of him reuniting the nations back to the Soviet Union, which could have easily been its own short series. Like that's a plot that could have been episodes long. Because I'm like, that's deep, man. Yeah.
The fact that they still call it the Soviet Union too.
Yeah, they want to revert. Yeah, they want to revert back to the Soviet Union, which is crazy, so he can reunite them all again. But then he just kind of does his own thing.
Because it's usually how it goes. Yeah, I'm my own man.
I don't know when these Poindexter villains are ever going to realize that you can't just let the muscle free. You can't just do that. You have to have something that they want. You can't just go, oh, here you go, do this for us. They're going to go, nah.
You have to do what they did in Beast Wars, Beast Machines. You have to steal the heart of Rampage.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
And squeeze it, or else that guy's going to just Rampage.
Yeah. Or make them believe you're a queen, like Inferno.
Oh, like Inferno.
My queen.
For the royalty.
Yeah, for the royalty. That's right.
Oh, that's amazing. Good call.
Yeah. So Colossus comes looking for help to stop the Empire and Omega Red, who has basically gone rogue, which, we called happened. Apparently the X-Men have unlimited money and unlimited jets. You notice that? Like, how many jets lift off in this one? We got to go to the Soviet Union. Okay, I'll go. Okay, and I'll take my own jet. And I'll take my own jet. And it's like, where are you getting money from?
Apparently for a school, there's nobody really in attendance, but they got a lot of tuition fees. So summer school
must be nuts.
I mean, all of them could be legit criminals to like make a lot of money, including Professor X, who could just be siphoning money from everybody else. But let's assume that rich benefactors, and when he was young, he made some IBM stock.
Fair enough.
Placements.
Wolverine has some history with Omega Red, as we've seen in previous flashbacks, and in this one, more flashbacks. And basically, he just keeps him busy until Storm saves the day.
Yep.
With some help from Darkstar.
Turns out to be a theme in this series. Yeah. If Storm's not there, we should call her. She's probably going to help us out a lot.
Usually, if she's on the field and not like locked in a closed space, she usually just saves the day.
I'm not mad at it, but it was definitely glaring on this watch of like, Storm's an Omega.
She just freezes. Yeah,
she's gonna and like literally gets the from one of the agents. She's like, "How do you stop Omega Red?" She's like, "He doesn't like the cold," and she's like, "That's it."
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
feel my
just freezes him. Done. Cameos in this: Mr. Sinister and the Nasty Boys. So Ruckus, Gorgeous George, Slab, and Hairbag.
How did you know what my mother named me? Airbag. Terrible Caribbean accent. Terrible name. Terrible intro to who's he fighting? Like Logan too? But boy, did I laugh at how they tried to make Airbag a main play. But he shows up again, but I don't hear him.
They're really trying to diversify the cast. But
listen, I don't mind that you paint it, but I didn't like. I'm not in the chats being like, "Oh, this is historically inaccurate." He's Caribbean. Like, you could have dropped any of the same like 6 voice casters for the X-Men. I would have had no problem with it. But they went for the Airbag. How you know what me mother called me? And I was like, "No, I'm out of here, bro." I'm out of here.
It was bad.
Flagrant. I threw as many flags on that play as I laughed. Don't get me wrong. But that was an indictment. Indictment.
The effort was there, but it was bad.
It's not even effort, though. The line of dialogue was, "How did you guess the name my mother gave me?" There's no effort in that. Just so he could fight Logan, he'd be like, "I don't like your size, bro." You gotta get so many different things. No effort. You get no points for that.
Okay. Super Adaptoids in this too. It's the guy in the green suit from the flashback. Ileana's in this. Maverick's in it. Flashback, and Captain America's even in it.
Say it right. So, who is in it?
Ileana.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The next episode of this is called Repo Man, Season 2, Episode 5. This one was also a must for us because Canadian. Logan gets an invite back to Canada to where he thinks he's meeting up with Heather. But
Pussy gonna get him killed.
He wasn't even hitting that. Still gonna,
but he's a big sap. Like if he likes a red, he loves a red.
Oh, he loves a red.
Red's gonna get him killed. Ginger gonna get him killed.
Yeah, but Vindicator,
which isn't his name. No, yeah, so Guardian. I've been calling him Vindicator. You've been correcting me since we started this podcast.
Because it was Vindicator until Heather becomes Vindicator, and then he becomes Guardian.
So I want to get my vindication here. Carry on.
Alpha Flight gets the jump on him instead.
And it's dope to see Alpha Flight, even as geeks as they made them. Still happy to see the crew.
Yeah, he handles the whole team, but at first he handles it, and then he kind of has to run. I like how they had the one line.
No. He handled the whole team. They had to
He did
invent this way where they could beat him out, but no, he won that battle.
I like how they had the one line where they had to put A in there. He should be right here, eh? Okay, you guys had to do that, right?
Especially for Puck giving that line too, eh?
Yeah, it was Puck, yeah.
First appearance of Northstar, who we've grown to love in Hawks Box Docs.
That's right, yeah.
This fall
Northstar and Aurora. They don't have much personality in this, but
they don't do much either. They just hold hands and kind of do like laser beams. It's like Sasquatch, Medicine Man again, not trying, but not gonna age well.
Oh, that's Shaman. That's Shaman. His name's Shaman. He just calls him Medicine Man. But that's even
doesn't
worse.
Really age well.
That's even worse because he didn't give himself.
Yes, no. This is our Canuck friend calling you Medicine Man.
Dr. Cornelius. We had an introduction to Dr. Cornelius and the Professor in this. So the flashbacks about Wolverine's origins. More flashbacks about how he meets Heather and how this is basically half flashbacks of just his origin, which was or not his origin, but part of it.
Getting back into the mind of Wolverine, which is a whole death trap in itself. But it's always nice when they kind of open the door just a little for the audience. You're like, oh, there's something more about the character. Really, this whole cartoon was built around, right?
Yeah.
Like, who else is the shining star coming out of this, other than him? I think it's the big three. To be honest with you, it's him, Storm, and Cyclops.
Yeah, I agree. But they basically lured him out there so that they could try and duplicate the Weapon X program. Which I don't know. It was weird because it was like, oh, they're gonna duplicate this program, but don't hurt him. And it's just like, okay, obviously they're gonna dissect him. I don't understand.
Yeah, who's more naive in this situation? Logan going back to Canada to chase pussy Heather that he never got, or Heather trusting the government and her shady boyfriend with, we're gonna put him back on the team and put him back in this tank and steal the metal of his bones?
But it's all going to be okay, and he's not going to get hurt. Okay.
Ethically. We'll do it ethically.
Yeah. Also, Vindicator just letting his wife get ragdolled around by that psycho general. I was like, dude, are you going to stop this?
That one time, and when Logan wakes up from the bed and he's freaking out, she's like, my husband's in the other room. Dude almost snaps her neck with the claws, and I don't see Vindicator breaking down the door.
Did not care. Yeah.
No, she's like...
He's the kind of dude that'll do everything wrong so that she'll break up with him so he doesn't feel guilty. That's what he's doing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's already got a maple Timbit on the side. It's a dude walking around in a giant skin tight Canada flag. He's at Timmy's just picking up double doubles, catching girls.
Why is he so mad at Wolverine? They don't really get into that. It's just because he left the team.
I feel like that's the always going narrative anytime Wolverine's on the team. Any number one hates him as number two, and Wolverine as a number two can never follow a number one. So it's kind of, I think they're trying to mirror what's going on in the actual X-Men with Scott and Jean.
So
quite literal with another redhead, but yeah.
So we're robbed of a scene where Vindicator and Cyclops get together and just talk about why they hate Wolverine.
Yeah, 22 minutes, buddy. 22
Yeah,
minutes.
I know, because that would have been a wonderful thing. Speaking of cameos, Vertigo, Domino again, Archangel, Cannonball again, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Nightcrawler, Psylocke. Lots of cameos.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then, do we list off everyone in Alpha Flight, or you just want to do a quick rundown again? Because that's a mighty team.
Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead.
Puck, Sasquatch, North Star, Aurora,
Shaman,
right?
Vindicator,
Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you get to change the name to Guardian after like you basically threw your wife to the dogs?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, Snowbird too. Snowbird was there too. She does absolutely nothing, but she
gets the owl breaks into the room where they're keeping.
Oh,
don't say nothing. Yeah,
so I take it back. She did do something.
You have a Sasquatch that can't break down the door, but you have an owl that can Snowbird.
I'm sitting there like we're forgetting somebody. Oh yeah, right, Snowbird. Yes.
And Logan, but not in his original yellows and browns.
No, which I think is
missed opportunity.
I argue it's a better suit.
It's not really an argument.
I like it better than the blue and yellow.
It just doesn't fit with the X-Men motif. But then again, neither does Rogue, neither does Gambit, neither does Jubilee. Okay. But for the most part, they're a blue and yellow team.
Okay, out of season 2 into season 3, Obsession, season 3, episode 9.
Let's get it.
I remember this. I thought Archangel was crazy. This guy, I never liked Angel, right?
Well, who likes Angel?
But Archangel I still don't like him, but he's nuts. Archangel letting his vengeance for Apocalypse consume him, trying to dig up every single hieroglyph he can to find a weakness. So this is basically all about revenge and why revenge is bad.
Voiced by Stephen Umete, or Wimete. Looks French to me.
Oh, Umet, yeah, something like that. Probably something like
that. He got on the first take. God damn it.
Apocalypse, I don't know. I didn't even see it. I just was guessing. Apocalypse was just chilling in the water, and he gets attacked.
Yeah. Played by John Colicos. Yeah, because we missed the episodes before this, which was all about leading up, and I'm kind of glad we missed all this stuff because this Punch episode is so much better than the lead up to like what's that secret thing, and they're trying to figure out what that Death Star little corridor hole is, the secret Achilles heel to Apocalypse to take him down. Mm-hmm. But in this episode, like Apocalypse, like I got all this shit covered, so he can literally just chill and wait in the water.
Yeah, he's just chilling and waiting. That's all he's doing. He's just hanging out.
Well, everyone comes to him.
Having a couple brown pops. Probably watching some TV. He's just chilling.
Okay, I go big now. I go big.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now's the time. All right.
So good.
But apparently he starts attacking a trail. So he attacks a power station, a defense plant, an industrial park, on a path to try and get a sentient Shi'ar airship, which lets Hank develop a plan, but also traps them in. Scott, Logan, and Hank. Scott, remember they go up to the ship. They're like, we'll get to the Shi'ar airship that he has, and we'll get there before he does. But then they get locked in.
Yeah, that was so. Like for me, the one thing looking back on this series, the one thing I really didn't like was anytime they did all the space stuff.
Yeah,
and for me, this was like kind of a cop out. Even back then, I was like a ship, and like that's where you get this magic key. Is like it seemed too easy to tie a bow on this episode. Obviously, we know why, because 22 minutes, if even that. But you need like this insanely cheat code of someone who's not even from your galaxy who really understands Apocalypse to kind of find a way out of this big bad mess. I really wanted them to figure out to use these X-Men, even if it meant bringing in all these old faces, right? Like it's a perfect opportunity to bring back all these other X-Men you had in other episodes. Like Archangel shows up, Colossus comes back in, Sabretooth has to fight on this team for whatever reason. Would have been awesome, right?
Yeah, no, they didn't do that. They just had this ship AI that
space
and Rogue being gullible. I don't know. She's got a soft spot for Archangel.
She's got a soft spot for anyone that's in pain.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I was just thinking something like that. It's because he's
got deep pockets. Not saying that she's a gold digger, but that dude doesn't have to worry about getting a job. You can just be like Apocalypse and be blue. Yeah. Apocalypse.
I like how whenever they're together, Gambit's just kind of in the background. He's just like watching.
That's my girl. Huh?
Yeah.
Watch her.
Yeah, watch it. He doesn't say. He's just like, okay, buddy.
Just say uncle. He's ready for his uncle line.
Oh, just say ongle. I love that. Oh, that killed me.
His Creole and French is not working either, but still.
So Beast develops a relationship with this ship, who is apparently
Ship
not just ship pussy gonna get him killed, because it's not just sentient, but it has emotion.
Ship gonna get him killed. Yeah, ship gonna get him killed. AI.
Did you laugh or feel sad when the ship groaned as it was done?
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
He goes, oh. I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I want to see the executive bigwig who's like, we need 3 screams per episode. So if Charles has to lose a leg so I can hear ah, or a ship's gonna come alive so I can hear ah, I need it in my Saturday morning.
What are we doing here? I don't. I didn't need that. Like, I believed Beast cared about the ship just on the basis that it was so interesting to him.
You know what? I'm going to take the opposition. I needed that mode to understand the love between Beast and the ship, right? Like that's a necessary.
Goodbye, Henry. Oh, I was like, what are we doing here?
Take me home, man. Take me home. Sell it.
And then Dolphin Sounds, aka Apocalypse, is sent out into space, just like that. This is one of the few episodes that doesn't have any crazy cameos.
Also, one of the few episodes where throwing something into space will not solve your problem.
Yeah. Guess what? He comes back. Who knew?
Yes, but that's also a theme for X-Men. They're really a Band-Aid type of team. They don't really put things down or like follow up with like justice to make sure this person's put behind bars or like the equivalent to Arkham Asylum. They're really just like, all right, they're knocked out. Let's get out of here, guys. Everyone back to the jet. And then they go back home and play basketball.
Play basketball in tank tops. Yeah.
Priorities.
Okay, moving on. Season 3, episode 12 and 13, Savage Land, Strange Heart. This was another dank request. Gotta have some Sauron. Boy, do we get Sauron.
Oh, boy, do we get Sauron.
It's the second arc of Sauron, too, which was interesting. That wasn't on purpose. But
I know.
Hey,
played by
this one I remember less, so that's good.
Played by Robert Boxdale. Loved it.
So the locals of the Savage Land, led by Khazar, are locked in battle with Sauron and his rule and Zaladane. After Sinister and the Nasty Boys are kind of jettisoned out of the Savage Land back in the last season, he's taken over, and now the locals are like, no, we're not having it. So he loses to them, and he bucks up with he bucks up with Zaladane, and she's all about, that's the priestess chick, and she's all about this Garrock guy. So she sends him to the
big Easter Island, Island head, which is like made me laugh until it didn't make me laugh. I was like, okay, that's pretty good pacing to get to there.
I thought it was Apocalypse in disguise.
I did not think that. I just thought it was Easter
because it was Apocalypse's voice. Did you know?
Listen, we talked about how many double voices happened along the way. I was just in awe of the backstory that we got for Sauron, which is basically 2 different men, and he's living this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of life. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And he gets this amulet, and they're like, all right, go find more energy over here. Coordinates.
So he gets sent to the real world, and he has to suck up energy to survive, obviously. But when he does it with a mutant, he becomes Sauron.
Yes.
And he immediately finds the X-Men.
Yeah. Beast, Wolverine, and Jubilation are leaving the museum, and the only time they're actually happy is when Wolverine and Jubilee go to get chili dogs, and that's when Sauron strikes. He's like, "All right, a human." Oh no, he's not.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed it. The cool animation of like Sauron birthing himself from like this
really cool
Cro-Magnon man. You see his wings spread, and you're like, I am Sauron. I was like, yes.
Even his fight with the Flyers, like Rogan and Storm, was really cool too. Like it was just like, because he's trying to hypnotize them. So 1-on-1, he's almost got them beat because they're not smart enough to not look at him in the eyes. So they look him in the eyes, and he just one of the
like, I got you now. Yeah.
Another
He's
part
got a cool
that
power set, man.
Was that?
He's got a cool power set.
Yeah. The draining and then the hypnotize. If he plays his cards right, he puts himself in some serious positions of power.
And then you get the cool trade-off with when he tries to steal energy from Rogue, who's also kind of a leech, and it cancels out, and there's a big little seismic wave. I was like, all right, there's some stuff to come back here too. Right?
Speaking of Rogue, one part that I found unintentionally hilarious is when he hypnotizes her, and so all she sees is monsters.
Okay.
But Beast just looks like Beast. And she's still scared of him. He's just different colored now. He's like green or something.
Beast going Beast.
I was like, I don't think she's scared of that.
You're not my Beast.
Yeah. But he eventually hypnotizes Storm and takes her back to Savage Land to unlock her powers and just keep draining her, which ends up becoming the linchpin of the episode. Is that they, Zaladane and Garak wanted Storm,
correct,
the Weather Witch, the whole time.
Omega.
Yeah. And
then again, proving to the series of the show how pivotal Storm is. Like she's a key for so many other people's full dreams and plans to come to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah, and they like unlock her. Everybody's got like an inner evil, I guess. Morph.
Well, that's the duality of man. I wouldn't go.
So Storm they just release her, like, I guess, quote unquote Weather Witch side, and she just goes around like just
freezing everything. Feel my wrath, another ice age, and all these dinosaurs are like, what? Oh no!
That's exactly it. Oh, not this again.
They just start getting cold. Like, why? It's so good. I don't like dinosaurs. Yeah. Dinosaurs like ice. I was like, damn. This is what you guys wanted? You wanted it to be Antarctica? We could just go 50 feet left and find ice. What do you do to our paradise? So good. Like, such an asshole. I was like, be cold, everyone. I was like, no.
There's a fastball special in this.
Yes, there is.
I like that. That was awesome.
Very nice.
This is Jubilee's first time in the Savage Land because she missed it the first time. So she's like, this is crazy. And like she
ends up muddied.
And she's the one that beats Sauron.
Yeah.
In the back of the pterodactyl.
Yeah.
So then she's like, so taking down Sauron, a weak Sauron, gives her confidence to go head on head with Storm. Like a psycho Storm. And guess what happens? She gets smoked.
This is the hubris of being a teenager. It's the fact that you took down Sauron, which is like, no, that wouldn't happen.
Weak Sauron too, like Sauron like barely flying,
and somehow she's in like caveman gear too. Like
I don't know where that. Yeah, Kazar.
She gets objectified really fast and ends up on a dino. So she's the first Princess Peach and finds a Yoshi.
That's an action figure for sure.
You think so?
Yeah, Savage Land Jubilee. Yeah. But this is a callback to the first time they visited the Savage Land, and that's why they wanted Storm, because her elemental powers like revived Garak when she used them. So now it's just like, oh, let her use more of them, so then I can be reborn.
And boy, does he get reborn! Yeah. I forgot how his birth happens.
I forgot all about this.
Yes, and it was awesome. It turned into the final like 2 episodes of Moon Knight.
yeah, it's exactly. I was thinking Power Rangers because it make my monsters grow, but
that's low hanging fruit. We go there all the time. This is stay current and in the MCU. Like we just got 2 giant hulking monsters battling over a volcano, and it was awesome until it wasn't awesome because it kind of ends because 21 minutes.
It's got
36 seconds. So I was like, no. And we've already done 2 episodes as our tail end, so it just kind of explodes. And
they can only sedate Storm so many times before they actually kill her. Like she's sedated. She's sedated in this like she's like you were saying before. She's like this chip, this Omega chip that if she's in play, she's in control. So we're just gonna take her out of play by sedating her over and over and over and over.
And every other X-Men is like a liability of like, don't use your powers too much. Like,
exactly.
Cyclops, not too much. Rogue, not too much. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Logan, not too much. Like everyone's got to walk this fine line.
Yeah. Cameos: High Evolutionaries in this. He's the one who beats Garak. Mr. Sinister and the Nasty Boys, Morph and Magneto are all in this. Next one. Anything else?
Before we go to the next one, X and Magneto are gone for a long time, man. We're in like year 3, and this is finally when X-Men are like, hey, you guys are here.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they've been gone for a long time. I remember that as a kid when I was watching like random. I was just like, man, these guys are still in Savage Land.
Yeah.
Because you would watch them out of sequence and stuff, right?
And you get like these storylines to be like, oh yeah, we're just walking. Oh no, there's a bear. Ah!
Yeah, that's right.
And they have to deal with these caveman weird like with 6 arms and shit like that. It's odd but cool.
They would use their little scenes to like eat up like 4 minutes of the episode if they didn't have like you know what I mean.
It's
They'd
true,
have to,
yeah.
oh, we got a couple minutes left. I'll just throw it to Magneto and Charles in the Savage Land. Okay.
And Coke now discovered why we sent X and Magneto off to the Antarctica for 3 years.
Yeah.
If these stories aren't really good enough, we can just pad it out with what's going on over
exactly.
Because
that'll keep people guessing.
It did.
On to season 4. Season 4, episode 3 and 4, Sanctuary. Astronauts are going missing while up in space.
Sure.
That's the plot.
Happens.
But it's pretty cool. They bring this is when they bring the Asteroid M storyline to the cartoon. Turns out Magneto has been taking them to Asteroid M, a safe haven for all mutants and even some humans, but not all humans see it as that way or even want to be a part of it. So the Acolytes are in this with Fabian Cortez.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Rat.
I didn't know who Fabian Cortez was when I first watched this, but now having this crazy backstory of going through this X-Men run that we've been reading, to now see Fabian Cortez and him be exactly the same amount of slime that I'm expecting him to be was sheer genius and fucking amazing. Chef's kiss all the way.
Characterizations in this?
On point.
Amazing.
Also, this floating island, what was it called again?
Space Asteroid M.
I think little nuggets of what eventually will be Sword and that kind of storyline. And I'd like to accredit Genosha as little remnants of what eventually would be Krakoa. Like seeds were there of like what would happen if it was just a island of mutants, or what would happen if it was a space station controlled by mutants, right? This is what it is. So definitely enjoy that kind of nod.
Let's see where we
they're in space. Fabian Cortez is part of the small team that Magneto has.
There's Fabian Cortez runs the Acolytes in this, and I feel like people only listen to him because he's the loudest one in the room.
His cape's the longest and the biggest.
Yeah, but he just yells all the time. So it's like, okay, we'll just listen to this guy because I don't want to argue with him because he just never stops, right?
And he's a battery, so like he made himself valuable very, very quick, and just kept charging up Magneto. I love the great line that Professor X and Beast have of Fabian, or like Magneto really likes Fabian charging him up, and someone says, but he's not healing him. So this could very quickly become a dangerous drug if he doesn't figure out what he really wants from Fabian, right? Like, it's good.
That's exactly what happens, because Fabian is like, Cortez is like death to all humans, where Magneto is kind of like, well, I'm not trying to kill anybody. I just want to, let's just...
I've been there, buddy. Let's ease up the gas a little.
It's like the remember The Boys with Homelander when he's dating the Nazi chick, right? The Nazi girl, and she's just going full Nazi, and he's kind of like, well,
not everything, right? Just enough, right?
You don't really hate everything with color, like that's kind of the same sort of thing here.
Which is amazing character development for Magneto, right? Yeah. If this was season 1, he'd definitely be an advocate for as crazy as Fabian Cortez was, right? He was all about, like, all of them, death to all of them. I can't stand any of them. They all need to go. And I was like, most of them. Yeah. Not all of them. I like Mora.
Yeah, Mora's cool.
Most of them. This is his mindset. I thought it was weird when he finally like calms down and takes off his like true gear and has the dinner with like the astronauts and his select mutants, that he comes out in pants and a robe but no shirt. So like he's just chest out, being like, I've assembled you, welcome you to my utopia kind of thing. I was like, dude, like what are you doing? Like,
I think he's trying to hint at something.
It was all dudes.
Hedonism is okay, and
I mean this is uncharted waters, because we're not like, listen, I saw nipples.
Yeah.
So he was big chested.
He was feeling himself.
I'm not knocking that.
It's an intimidation tactic.
Is it? I was not intimidated. I just know I'd be eating at the kiddie table. No, thank you, sir.
Like I'm tapping it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, this is unless he was telling everyone shirts off for this dinner.
Yeah, this is a topless party.
We'll be playing volleyball after this. Was it Top Gun? High fives? No.
Golf.
Kimonos.
Oh, it's a Top Gun song.
What's a Top Gun song?
No, what's the Top Gun song that they play over and over?
Danger Zone?
No, not Danger Zone. The romance song.
Danger Zone.
Yeah, that song.
Romance song. No, so you see what type of movie watchers we are. Dank is looking for the
away. So they say like soundtrack makes a scene. So imagine that scene, but it's to that song. So
Coke is the lover. Dank is the danger zone.
Only
I
because
feel
I
like,
remember watching that way they played that song like 18 times during the run.
I mean, he was trying to take his breath away. I definitely say check real fast and look for a space ship to get out of there. Anyway,
Okay, so it turns out Beast was right, and Fabian, when Magneto doesn't want to kill everybody, Cortez just basically drains his powers back, all the power he'd given him.
yeah, and like make some space ghost kind of thing.
Yeah, he starts fading. Yeah, which is strange. What's
Don't
really,
understand the physics of that.
another belly laugh I had is that this guy Fabian is just, when they find him, he's just staying up late looking at projections of himself with women.
Yes. He's watching space porn, essentially. Makes perfect sense. He's like, I look good there. I look good better with chicks. Oh, someone's calling me. Damn it. I gotta go. Damn these chicks. That's the ego of him. He's like, I want to be a god. It made perfect sense.
So funny, man. It's just so...
Of the options of going to Magneto's weird, oily chest, bearskin dinner,
or watching yourself with chicks. Yeah, that's
watching space porn. I mean, hey, man. The dude's not wrong.
That's a great point. Oh, yeah, but I saw that, it was just so fun. I was like, of course. Why wouldn't you just sit there and watch projections of yourself?
Kind of like Beast, AI pussy gets him killed.
Yeah,
because what's her name? Who's the mist girl that has Amelia, who has a backstory with Professor X?
Oh, Amelia Voigt. Yeah,
which is cool. And so finding the missing tape that proves that Fabian double crossed Magneto.
Yeah.
So his team turns on him again, and battle ensues.
Yeah, battles ensue. The Apocalypse laugh at the end, I thought was kind of
unnecessary. Well, he's in space. We're in space.
He's just, but his laugh. He just, who are you?
Dolphin sounds. We know who he is. It's the same shit of like when we'd get weird screams from Charles, and you just see a weird. You'd see the weird Eliana. You'd see the Shi'ar mask. You didn't know what it was. We was like, ah! And it was like, I'd rather a laugh there.
It's incredible.
I sat on my balls. He's old.
Okay, cameos. There's a lot. There's a doozy in this one because the Acolytes are there. They're not cameos, but the first appearance of the Acolytes. So Amelia Voigt, Frenzy, Marco Delgado, Byron Callie, Chrome, Carmela Uniscone.
Nice.
We got Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, the Nasty Boys, Morlocks. It's like Glowworm, Urg, Mole. Again, sucks. Scaleface, Tommy, Sunder, Ape, Tar Baby. There's a Tar Baby?
That I'll let slide because I hear an incredibly bad black voice of.
It's not. No, it's the guy with the blue skin with the dark hair. He's like, no,
listen. We talked about
name. I didn't know that.
My mother named me that. How you know my mother name? Yeah. No, you laugh again.
There's Random, Arclight, Copycat, Angel, Iceman, Black Panther, Kangaroo, Peeper, Blockbuster, Lifter, Shocker, Slither, not Spider-Man's villain Shocker, another Shocker, Slither, Francisco, Milan, Doc Samson, Nari, and Shiny. Because there is that Black Panther part where they're blasting off from Africa, and he's just like, they just show his back. He's just chilling on the rock.
Yeah, it's weird how when they decide to shoehorn characters from around the world.
Captain America's in one flashback. Black Panther's just right there, but they don't.
I mean, if this was intentional planning for stuff in episodes that they're going to go down the line, amazing. But again, and it happens kind of for Captain America, but not for Black Panther, who definitely would have been like, bring me Storm. She's the key to everything I need in my home of Wakanda. And
then in part 2, they actually have X Factor. Forge, Havoc, Quicksilver, Polaris, Wolfsbane, Strong Guy.
Yes, he said Strong Guy.
Yeah, there's Gideon's in there, Saul, Haven, Monsoon. There's like a whole bunch of people that like blink and you miss them, right? Deathbird's in it as well. She's with Apocalypse. So you know where he ended up after that space jettison.
Not getting killed by pussy? Killing pussy? It's kind of like the Bowser laugh from Mario 64.
Oh, yeah, kind of is. That's a good point. Okay, moving on. One Man's Worth. Season 4, episode 9 and 10.
It's not a lot. One Man's Worth.
One Man's Worth. It's all about choices. This was a little like when I was a kid, I just watched it. I couldn't. I was just like, I don't really know what's going on. No, because there's like 4 different times. There's present day.
Yep.
There's future, which is 2055. Yep. There's an alternate present day, and there's an alternate future. And
judge it by the forges, because Forge changes.
That's right. Yeah, all based on Fitzroy and Nimrod killing Xavier in 1959. Fucking Nimrod, eh?
Fucking crazy to see Nimrod though. Like, was not expecting him in these cartoons, and
Nimrod, yeah.
Already made him maybe the most dangerous threat in the X-Men's Rogue Gallery.
I remember watching.
Definitely more dangerous than Sinister, and I think
Yeah.
a little more dangerous than Apocalypse.
I remember watching this as a kid, and I was like, because he does that T-2000 thing where he just melts all back together.
Yes.
But I was just like, as a kid, I was like, this guy looks so stupid, but he's so deadly. And I was always confused. Like, I was always conflicted about that. I was like,
you want to be like, he sucks, but he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
He opposite of sucks coke. He opposite of sucks.
Well, he's floating around like a Chansey or something with the colors of the chance, like the white, the pink. All he does is get the egg on his stomach.
This weird little electric field going on around him, but like you can't fuck with him, man.
No. He just floats too. He's so annoying. He just floats. Anyways,
he's how we would be destroyed by. We'd be destroyed by something inanely looking dumb, like a refrigerator would take us all out. Because who's going to suspect the refrigerator?
Yeah,
we would laugh, and it comes so close to us and just hit us with the freezer, like the refrigerator did it. It'd be funny.
Damn, that's a good point. That's such a good point.
Thank you, sir.
Bishop and his sister Shard time hop to try and stop.
Need a better
Shard with a D.
I know, but like to sharded, it's past tense.
Bishop is like, I like how I feel like they put Bishop in the one episode, like in the early seasons, and people liked him so much. Like, we got to find ways to just keep bringing him back. So more time episodes.
Do you remember when he first appeared and he got the whole musical cue? It was like kind of a Western, like, like they made him a badass immediately, right? So he was a major player.
Put him right against Gambit too. He's like, oh, he's against the team's badass.
Yeah.
Oh, he's such a badass. Yeah.
And then the whole like, and like he was trying to take him out, and like you get the whole backstory. Like that was kind of the first instance of Mystique, and so how powerful Mystique is, right?
Yeah,
it's great. Bishop was great.
Wolverine, sucker for love, as he doesn't want to give up on Storm, but Storm would rather save the world. I like that because they're in this alternate timeline. They're lovers.
Yep.
And basically all she does is chastise him for not listening. It's just like
all of his other relationships, and
it works. They
like,
work.
Like everyone that's ever come across Storm, you're not going against her. So if she's like, we're gonna stay and help, he's like, oh, I guess. Like, what he's gonna do? I'm gonna go it alone at age 625 in a future where I'm not winning. I gotta follow. Like, I don't get their costumes in these in this flash forwards because essentially all they do is just add more bits of flair to it. Yeah. So like Magneto's got a beard and he's still in like his helmet and everything, but he's just got more packs of like, I guess, provisions and
more pockets.
But he's Magneto.
Pockets, yeah. He doesn't need pockets.
He doesn't use gun. Like he barely uses his hands to hold things.
You think he just be topless with the cape?
That he'd have like blue pants this time. Like these the opportunities missed to give me like cool gear. But we do get the futuristic outfits for Storm and Wolverine, which are toys for sure, because I definitely see them in the aisles and in collectors' hands.
Most disappointing futuristic outfit, Gambit. It's the same thing. Doesn't change anything.
Well, he's from the future.
Didn't change a thing. No.
Is
Gambit, not Bishop? Gambit.
No, I'm.
They show Gambit on the.
I hear you. Yeah, he doesn't do much.
The same costume.
He doesn't do anything in the future either.
He didn't even take his coat off. He's still got the same coat.
He's kind of the weakest member. Anyway, we'll get into that if we want to get into that.
Yeah.
Did Archangel and Cyclops fuse in the future?
Yeah, I think so because he's got wings. Yeah, something like I was.
And he's got
confused. I was like, what is that?
He's got Sphinx paws and stuff. I was like, what happened here? Like, you can give me 10 minutes to be like, in the future.
Yeah,
Cyclops has sex with Archangel, and this is their kid.
And they somehow conceive a child.
Fusor, like they're the fusing beast machines.
Yeah, I wasn't. They just did the fusion.
Thank you. The Dragon Ball Z fusion dance. Yeah. They became one. Oh, then Archangel got the low end of the stick there. Yeah. You're the wings and the butt. And I have a tail for some reason.
One of my favorite parts of this episode is when Bishop finds Charles in 959 and immediately drops all this info on him. Just info dumps on him, and Charles is like, like, how do you, it's just like, there's mutants. You're one of them. We time traveled from 2055. You have to stop it because if you die, the world's. It's like, how do you react?
I was floored by the waitress bringing them 5 cups of coffee, and Logan being like, "I'll take all of those. Real coffee. Haven't had that in a long time. Ever seen to drink 5 cups of coffee?" So So they make him like a dummy and like a glutton in one scene. It was amazing. Oh god, it's so good. Real coffee. What a schmuck. Ooh, a cookie. God damn.
The slow motion scene when Xavier gets blown up was really funny too.
So he gets blown up twice. They don't even do the job they're supposed to do.
The slow motion is like really choppy. It's just like it's something that you'd make with like on your computer. It's like, oh wow.
That's the thing. They didn't animate more frames to make it slower. They just chopped it down.
So it's just like the movement's like really jagged.
They just it's essentially worse for an effect that didn't really help sell your story, but hilarious.
Yeah, good.
And animators a secret, I guess. We just chop it.
There's the Master Mold, because Master Mold's in this, and he tells Nimrod to double cross Fitzroy and Bantam before they've even left the room.
Yeah, Fitzroy's in this too. Cool,
but he's like, you guys get out of the room, and as they turn to walk around, he's like, by the way, you double cross them. And they're like, of course they're gonna hear it. They're still there.
These computers ain't got no time, right? I got a list. Like, yes, conversation over, laughing time done. Like I was just waiting for it, but no.
And I'm running on a count, but how many times do you think Charles Xavier says, "You can't expect me to believe all this"? He says it about 4 or 5 times in this episode. It's great.
Until like Charlotte has the genius idea, which they should have said from the jump of, you read his mind and see all the stuff that we're talking about, so you know what we're talking about. First line of dialogue: "Hey, we know you're a mutant. Read this guy's mind."
Yeah.
Slow motion him falling. Oh, he's gonna die. He had a heart attack.
Also, there was the scene about racism that I missed as a kid.
Yeah.
I think, and then the mutants. It's funny because Storm and Wolverine are like, "What? Like, you're mad about this? That's so." What'd she say? It was so. I can't remember. Some like so cliche. Like it was like that's funny.
So it was a shoehorned in type of.
It was, but they said it was racist without being racist.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, I didn't pick that up, so I don't know who the lesson was for.
I mean, to this 2 episodes, which had the most amount of black people in it, at 4. So, cover all our bases in case we get any blowback letters.
Well, there's the 50s, so
there's too many black cartoons in my X-Men cartoon. And change it.
This is the 50s, so we have to have some. Like racism, I meant.
I'm glad you saved yourself there, Coke.
I realized that sound. I was like, that's not.
You have a lot of hanging chads in this episode. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wolverine jerked him off.
Beat him off, I said. There you go. And in the end,
they all got beat off.
Professor X remembers Wolverine and Storm as a couple. How do you rank that couple?
It's a strong couple.
I thought it was better than I remembered. I was like, oh, this works.
Listen, anything with Storm works.
That's fair.
I'm surprised half the pussy that Logan got, but I feel like Storm's the one that actually could tame him and make him cool. But anytime I saw it in the comics, I always like that combination.
Did you realize? I didn't realize the Avengers are in this.
They're good yin yangs. Are they in the future?
Yeah. Captain America, Scarlet Spider, Iron Man, Goliath, Wasp, Black Widow, and Hercules.
Same original suits or different?
No, variant. Remember the big guy?
Oh, Goliath. That's Goliath.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
I wish people could see your impression of Goliath.
Oh, I just basically walked my arms because my other hand is in my pocket.
It was all your emotion. It was just effortless, like this is Goliath. I would slow motion.
Like a Lego character or something.
I would slow motion this and watch that GIF daily.
Magneto, Blob, Rogue, Copycat, Pyro, Gambit, Jean Grey, Sunder, Beast, Sabretooth, Angel, Colossus, Mr. Sinister, Nightcrawler, Morph, Caliban, Callisto, Mask, Mastermind, Nightcrawler, Sunfire, Banshee, Polaris, Frenzy, Holocaust, Mimic, Wildchild. I remember seeing him. Blink, Malcolm, Randall, and Lobdell are all in this.
And they said mutants didn't make the future. Come on.
I do remember Wildchild just it is real quick, like blinking, you miss something. I was like, hey. Nice. They go DiCaprio.
You want to give another shout out to Gambit, who does nothing?
Does nothing. He just lays on a bed in his old
Shetty.
In his old stupid costume.
If it don't work, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, like his original costume. You don't like the pink and black and blue
I think they're the worst costume, to be honest
with
with
the
you, on the
brown
team.
trench coat. You would wear
The
a yellow
mask
trench
thing
coat.
is weird. What's that that belly clava he's got? I don't like that.
A belly clava. You would wear a yellow trench
With the
over
hair
a
cut
brown
out.
trench. I know what he looks like. We just watched 17 episodes of this motherfucker. And every episode, gambits.
He's got no pupils.
That was kind of cool. I don't know what it was.
I don't know what that was. I never knew if that was glasses or just his eyes.
They made him cool, and then you wonder why Channing Tatum wanted to play him all this time. He was watching this version of him. The movie that you never wanted, and I don't think you're ever going to get.
No.
Fox.
So
20th Fox's Gambit.
Yeah. What did I say? The Enforcers are in this too. Yeah, okay. That's that. All right. A lot of cameos in these ones. Okay, Weapon X, Lies, and Videotape. Season 4, Episode 16.
Arguably the best episode of this run.
Yeah, I agree. This one got me.
It's good.
Wolverine is having vivid nightmares about his days with Task Force X and runs off. Jean's. There's some funny stuff in this though, like because he just like gets mad and runs away, right? Leaves.
That's his MO. What do you think
does.
this guy does all the time?
But the part that got me is that Jean goes into his room and sees her pictures in the nightstand and thinks nothing of them. Like there's pictures of her and there's pictures of her and Scott's cut out.
Yeah,
and she's just like, not these. This like that's got to be her first time seeing those, right?
Yeah, but not her first time in Logan's head.
I was just gonna say that unless he read her mind.
Yeah, sure. she knows.
Fair enough.
Listen, this dude tried to tell her on her wedding day after she was married, "I still love you. We can make it work."
Yeah.
So he's thirsty. Before the word was invented for thirst.
Yeah. So it turns out that former Task Force X members were lured to Canada, where the Weapon X program started. And
all the cool shit goes down in Canada.
Yeah, it does. And the dicey origins of the team. I like how this episode helps elevate Sabretooth to a much more layered villain because he shows up. It's like, oh, it's going to be on. And it's like he's kind of like, no, I'm here. Like, I'm just as confused as you are. But then he's also like chastising at the same time. I love their relationship. Right. It's so good.
They get it. And it gets fleshed out.
Yeah, and the whole runtime, it keeps you guessing and second guessing things. And even in the end, doesn't even answer it all. That's the memory, because the memories they have are only half fake, right? Like, because what happens is Silver Fox, Maverick, Sabretooth, and Wolverine.
Played by Silver Fox, played by Shannon Lawson, and Maverick, played by Christopher Noyd.
And they all get together because they are Task Force X. And Beast is essential in this episode too.
Yeah,
because he acts as like the outside. He's the only one that's not crazy, right? He's just because he's the outside view, and they're all four of them are kind of going crazy because they don't know what's real, what's not, and It turns out their memories are half fake or half true, which is even better than just having fake memories because it's like
some of that's real. What's real from fake? Yeah, you don't know where it started, where it ended, what they pieced together. So, yeah, and they essentially need each other to find out this secret too, right? Like They need each other's DNA kind of footprint in order to put a hand on this button so they can open the door and find out this information. By their, I guess, captor and like scientist creator who's an asshole about like, hey, like since you guys are in this room, I got to tell you the secret that I didn't want to tell you. Like, asshole. Yeah. And then sends what reminded me of a Silver Samurai / Strife robot to like destroy them all.
Yeah, name's Talos.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Well, like I said earlier, like some of these episodes didn't need any combat. This is a perfect example of one. Didn't need the combat, but it's like just a kid's show. Story. Yeah. So let's put the guy with titty rockets in it. And it's like, okay.
But we're 4 years in, so those kids started out at least grown, and at the very least they've grown with our characters. So I get what you're saying in terms of we need some sort of action, but you don't. Like if you've already have captivating characters, and now you're taking us on real genuine stories that will eventually be pulled for like real life comics and movie big screen stories. I'm trying not to reference Wolverine Origin, but we have to because those are sort of the tie-ins.
Yeah,
these are moments, especially with Logan, who you know's the big bruiser and all he does is fights, where you can flip the script and just give us him walking with his shadows. And man, what you could have done with those 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still listing this as one of the best episodes of this run that we're covering, so it's not like they didn't do a lot of that. It's just the door is open for them to do more.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. It's like the runtime kind of kills it, right? There's a good story that they're sharing here, and you could even stretch it a little bit longer. But
It kind of seems like every single episode should have been a
yeah,
double parter, and every two parter should have been like at least a three
yeah, it does
for
seem
them
that way.
to cover everything that they could have covered. Because when you block out an hour, essentially you're just giving yourself whatever that 40 minutes, and that's the bulk of how you tell one story, right? So I wonder if that's going to change the new shit that we're getting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. Anyways, we learned that a Sabretooth was supposed to get adamantium bones too.
Yeah, way to blow for the rest of us.
Yeah. Which is amazing. We also learned that Silver Fox and Wolverine's relationship wasn't fake because he was like, "Oh, the cabin," because they have a whole stage set up with all these fake memories. There's a fake cabin, there's a fake this and a fake that.
Right.
But the cabin that they have in their memories, they carved their names into the side of it, and this cabin didn't have that. So either that didn't happen, or it's not the real cabin.
We also learned that either one, the facility has cameras outside because they show Wolverine breaking out of the facility and running into the snow
from the woods.
Yes, which made me laugh. Or actually shows us that animators are lazy because we saw all of this clip in the original episode that they used in it, so it's all reused information. Cells essentially.
You mean we can reuse like 30 seconds of runtime? Let's do it.
Listen, it was either that or they're just going to slow motion everything and just break our eyes before we understood what they were doing.
No, but this is great though. It's I love the duplicity of it, and they don't even answer it in the end because this is the best version of Wolverine is when his past is muggy. It's all muddy. Nobody knows what's real, but we have tidbits of it. I don't like when he has a clean past like the Joker, right? We've talked about it before. Those two characters I don't want.
Right.
The
less is more because you can do so much with what's left,
Mystery.
and then with a character like Professor X, you can. And a team like X-Men, which is essentially, I'm only getting these guys out of trauma.
Yeah.
And that they were birthed in trauma. Most mutant experiences are kind of created when something so traumatic in their life happens that their dormant mutant gene activates. It's a treasure trove of different areas that you can go with each character to like address their background, address their traumas, address what they're going through. And what we didn't get to see, but we definitely talk about in our comic run of this series, is how invasive it is to have someone like Professor X always in your head. That's not cool. Especially if I don't even know what's going on. I definitely don't want you trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, so cameos in this. Yoriko, Heather Hudson, Omega Red, and Jebediah Creed. His only appearance, actually.
And the little touchstone that we get for Victor and how much he got beaten as a kid was goddamn.
Really cool. Yeah, his dad was Jebediah. Yeah, exactly.
Just enough to be like, oh, this guy's been a tortured soul his entire life.
That's right from the comic books, too. That whole scene where he's chained up with the rat. Like, that's just right. I have that comic here. That's Unlimited X-Men. It's really good.
I want us to cover that tiny Sabretooth run. Like, that was six issues of just awesomeness, just getting in his head.
We will. Okay, let's move on to the Amazing Season 5.
Dark Days are here again.
This was another one that you had to have.
But it's glaring the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, space, 5. Like the drop off is real.
Yeah, it's hard. It sucks.
It's sad. It's the first time you can realize the writing's on the raw. Like it's as kids, you're learning like there's a big change. Things don't sound right. Things don't look right. My intro, like all the comforts that you had of like your Saturday morning routine are so changed and jarring that there's no way that this is going to stay like this. And the ultimate answer is yes, it can't stay this way because we're done. We've kind of run out of money. This is as far as we can go.
Yeah, it was really jarring. It looks different. The animation's changed. Some of the voices have changed. Like some of the costumes and looks have changed, which isn't that big of a deal, but
there's too much jubilation.
Yeah. The animation looked like sloppier. I know they changed companies, right?
Yeah.
But yes,
it's like if the first 4 seasons were tight, this is definitely loose.
Yeah.
And a shout out to Workaholics is definitely loose butthole. So.
So this is season 5, episode 5, The Fifth Horseman.
Which doesn't really get answered in this episode either.
No, it doesn't. It's like we were talking about before. It's like it's supposedly Beast, but then the 4 guys that are with him aren't even horsemen. They're called the Hounds.
And it's like we kind of get Dark Beast, but it's not Dark Beast.
No, it's like I don't know.
And then we kind of get Apocalypse, but we don't really get Apocalypse. This is a very sloppy episode. Why did we choose this episode?
The one thing I will say, you wanted this episode. The one thing that I
didn't pick this episode.
Yes, you did.
BS. When did I say give me Fifth Horseman episode?
It's in the chat.
I prove it.
Tiny Head Beast. I'll show it to you later.
Oh, I did want Tiny Head Beast. This is Tiny Head Beast. Oh my gosh. I stand corrected. Coke was right.
Yeah.
Coke decided to leave those X-Men by the side of the road, and he was correct. By the side of the road, looking at Tiny Head Beast. This episode is great for Tiny Head Beast.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about it, though, is this is a direct tie-in to Sanctuary.
I guess.
Because Fabian, it's the first time you see Fabian Cortez since then, I believe.
And it's awesome that we had 2 Fabian Cortez drops in this run.
Yeah.
Not a mutant that I think we're going to watch twice.
And I'm pretty sure he's in Beyond Good and Evil as well, which we covered on the bottle cap a while ago. But yeah, the Hounds, these 4, basically, I guess they're Morlocks because the one is Caliban, right?
One's Caliban. Diesel Caliban with a small head.
The other 3 we don't know who they are, but you can assume that Fabian just kind of.
And I love that he talks in the third person. Caliban doesn't deserve this.
Yeah,
Caliban shouldn't go back with Jubilee.
So
come back.
The Hounds are on the hunt for a young, powerful mutant that Apocalypse can use as a host.
I feel like there's so many holes in that.
Yeah. Plan. And then, lo and behold, here comes Jubilee and Beast on a road trip to wherever they were.
So you're a Dolphin Sounds APOC. You have a choice between being the conduit for Jubilation or Dr. Hank McCoy. Who are you choosing?
Yeah, McCoy. That brain power, bro.
So the Fabian, not good at his job. 1, 2. Storm exists.
Yep.
You know how powerful she is.
Why did he have to be young? Is it because he wants to live longer?
He's immortal. I don't get that.
Exactly.
I don't get the kid thing. I'd be like, give me the strongest mutant. The Iceman around. Give me strong. Colossus. Who's someone that's level 4 or 5 that I can just Omega. That I could go ham in. But for whatever reason, unless this is a larger kind of storyline that they're talking about with, I don't want to say what I was thinking. I was going to go off the deep end with what it could be, and they're kind of alluding to, but whatever reason you needed a kid. Maybe that's a you know how cartoons always try to tie in a message for the kids watching, so they would kind of learn a lesson. Maybe this is watch out for the old creepy immortal guy that wants to use your body to become even powerful being.
I mean, that's words to live by.
Is it? Anyway, I choose Tiny Head Beast.
But yeah, Cortez screws up.
As he should.
He makes Beast into Were Beast. Like you're saying, he's like a dark beast kind of. But he's not even smart. He's just
until he learns that love will save the day. And he
that's right. He sees a picture.
Love saves everything.
Yeah.
Let's not forget X-Men love. This is an episode. Writing is definitely on the wall that we don't have very many ideas, and the ideas we haven't fleshed out. Let's just start churning, baby. Start churning, because Apocalypse dies because his temple folds into each other.
Yeah,
he's like, I can't come back.
But then he takes over Cortez's body anyways.
So could have done that from jump.
He could have done that from exactly. He could have done that right from the beginning. Okay, done. Didn't need the Hounds. Didn't need just.
So this could have been a B storyline in a Savage Land episode.
This could have been a C or D storyline. This is nothing.
So is that like an outro credits? Remember when the credits used to give us the 3D models of each character
with the toys?
And I hated it even more because I wasn't getting the toys or going to get to play those games.
And you'd never follow the whole roster. There was a couple times where it always stopped to the end, and I was like, "Oh, there it is." Because it was always Cyclops first. Then he's like Cyclops,
Storm,
Jean, Storm, Wolverine.
Beast.
But you never ever saw Beast. Gambit and things. It's like
no, I don't think we got Rogue. But the internet would implode if we got the backside of Rogue.
Yeah. Okay. No, they don't like it now. They nerfed her.
Listen, I'm only going to judge once I see the backside of Storm. If she loses her then problems. Or Beast. Beast has always had back, too.
That's just the fur.
Listen, no. You can't pad that diaper. That dude's been proudly wearing that Speedo
it's tight.
from jump.
Snug, yeah, it's snug as a bug.
So, cheeks for days. Do you want to keep talking about Horsemen? Because
no, the only cameos in this are Caliban and Deathbird, who once again says nothing. So,
what's your rating on Caliban?
He sucks.
There you
go. brings us to the last episode that we did, and the last episode of the series, Graduation Day, season 5, episode 10.
And to your credit, you said should have been a double episode.
Yeah, this should have been a double episode. Absolutely, it's way too fast.
Or at least end on a cliffhanger where we're gonna get a double episode and we never get it. I'd prefer that than
what we got.
The shit that they put on our wall.
This episode's not bad, but it could have been so much better. And
it's fast, and for all the things you're trying to do, you can't do it in 19 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to do a lot here because it opens with Gyrick showing off past episodes of the destruction the X-Men and mutants have caused in their battles. That was cool. Throwback to and the freedom fighters in Russia, and it's like the Omega Red episode.
But you let Gyrick be the one to take down Professor X with a button and a remote? Fuck out of here. No secret plan. No you got that handoff on Sinister or Nimrod gave you the technology. No, this fucking politician got in your face on live TV. No security, no stage. X-Men are late to jump, even though they're in the front row, and he pushed the button and laughed, but still, come on.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Is this your king? That's all the only thing I missed. Is this your king?
Yeah, because he goes on TV to battle the mutant legislation, and Gyrick just hits him with his magic button, and he just goes and disrupts his brainwaves or something like that. And they did. Yeah. So I didn't realize they didn't know he was a mutant this whole time.
That's wild and can't be true.
I was like, there's no way they didn't know. He runs a school for mutants.
You roll with mutants, and your chair is like a mutant because you're not. You can't buy that at Wheels R Us. That's a mutant chair.
That's not even something that I didn't realize as a kid. As an adult, I didn't realize that. I was like, didn't they not know he was?
No, I feel like they just threw in that line for purposes of this episode. That's a bigger twist if you believe it. But no, the dude's been out there being like, whoop, 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 whoop,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Mutants are the best. And then Juggernaut's running around, so all that half brother shit.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Magneto and Genosha are ready to storm the world and take it for themselves. I thought something big was happening, but then Psych, Wolvie, and Jean show up, and
it is big. Sunspot's getting some lines and dialogue. The Wolfsbane.
Yeah, Sunfire. Yeah.
Sunfire. Sorry.
Psych, Wolvie, and Jean are all right. They hype themselves up. Okay, let's be stealth. Don't let anybody figure. And then they just walk into the and they're immediately who are you guys?
Didn't I? You could tell that this was we got no juice left.
Yeah,
we forgot because look at all the character decisions based on the character depth we've got up to this point. So all these revelations aren't really revelations; they're just shoehorned in plot lines. And the things the characters are doing now are so 180 from what they've done the entire series that it's more comical.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And they sneak into Genosha so that they can talk to Magneto and I guess talk him down from going into war with the world. So then during that, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying when they're looking for a backdoor in, and Wolverine's like, I got it, and just cuts a line into a mountain, and then Cyclops blasts it. When Cyclops could have just blasted the hole the entire time, looking for a backdoor. So again, the logic is lost in the last episode.
Methinks they're just padding the runtime.
Why couldn't they just do the one criticism that we all had for the entire series, which was we wanted to see what the intro gave us, which was all of the X-Men running against all of the brotherhoods of mutants.
Yep.
And then exposing.
Never got that.
Just give us that scene.
Yeah.
I don't need a story for it. Just
we've been waiting for that scene.
You think we're gonna get it?
Never got it.
Get it? Think we can get it?
I think I'll get it.
You think we're gonna get it?
They can get it.
You think we're gonna get it?
Oh, they're gonna get it. But during the fight with Magneto, Jean learns that her powers and his mix together and amplify her psychic ability.
Yeah, he gets stronger radio waves.
So light bulb, why don't you come with us? Blend your powers with Charles. Right. And you'll be able to contact Lilandra out in space who can save him.
what do you think of the character development of Magneto ready to launch war on humans for the death of Professor X or the attack of Professor X, and then 180 when he learns the news that he's dying. He's like, I got to go
Yeah.
see Charles.
So that's what's weird. I don't think he would have waged war to begin with. I really don't. I think he would like because remember for the first part of the episode, he just kind of like is to himself.
Yep, I'm in my cave.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it. I'm kind of like, oh, he's gonna disband this whole group because he doesn't feel it anymore, right? Exact opposite happens. He comes out, he's like, we're gonna storm the Capitol. It's like, that seems out of character. And then like the complete switch to,
well, the catalyst is supposed to be that Charles gets attacked, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, we've had enough. If you're attacking the most nicest guy, like if you're attacking essentially the MLK Jr. of the most peaceful, Gandhi, right? Like then, fucking, I'm gonna become the most militant because if you're gonna take the best of us, they're gonna show you the worst of us.
But that would have been like immediate to me. Like I would think that Magneto would be like immediately, Charles is down. All right, let's roll. But he didn't. He took like days to think about it, and then he was like, "Let's roll." And then, like you said, he's just kind of like, "Okay, let's not roll anymore." And it's like, wait a second.
Meanwhile, Sunfire's down on the ground rallying the troops. Like, no, this is the time now. Like, he could have been the leader. He wanted the go ahead from Magneto to be like, "Okay, we're good to go." But he's definitely rallying them. Like, and with Wolfsbane, so
yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know.
Again, this terrible season and not a great fitting ending. So although the final 30 seconds is kind of awesome.
So he's technically not even dead, though.
No, he's not. He's on his last legs. They used. Oh yeah, in the grand scheme of things, but I'll build it up. He's on his last legs in a hospital bed. Morph fakes being Professor X to let the general public know that he's alive. I don't know for what purpose, but I guess to like calm raging hormones and opposition or whatever. He has nice little speeches that he gets to say about each mutant as he thinks he's going to die. Lilandra pops in and says, I can save him, I just can't save him here. So he's got to go back to his homeworld planet. And then they all kind of like look to the stars. Mm-hmm. Now, rushed? Yes, but still kind of sincere what he gets to say about each individual X-Men. Because to this point, they had lived a full journey and we got to kind of learn who they were through them and about them and follow their stories and then actually give a goodbye to the audience essentially, right? So I don't mind the ending. It was just the lead up to wasn't justified to get there.
Right. He also basically calls Jean his favorite.
Yeah, she was the first, which I always thought it was Scott, but you know.
No, he's like, yeah, you're my favorite. Basically, more or less.
Jean's like 3 people's favorite, so I'm not mad at that. Yeah. Like, who's gonna say Morph? You did it for me. Like, he was just happy Morph came back, kind of thing, right? And like, what was it? Rogue, no one can touch you, but you've touched everybody here.
That was a nice one.
Storm, you're a hurricane, but you've always come to me like a gentle rain. Like, he had some touching things. Like, Logan, you're conflicted, but you found family.
The Scott one was good.
Scott,
will I be your father? Will you be my son? I could never be a prouder. Something like that. I was like,
even though we kind of get a Scott reference in this series because we get Starjammers and we kind of get to see the origin. Right? So there's levels to it, and there's the cool kind of poster that you get the rake of all 10 faces that remain. But the episode leading up to his death did not equal his final goodbyes. So, and then who graduated? The X-Men?
No, Professor X did. He graduated to the heavens.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. Bullshit.
He graduated to the heavens, and he's in a better place now.
Regardless of how bad season 5 is, this is still such a fun and rewarding TV show to go back to, especially now considering how much knowledge we've built.
Cameos for this episode?
Go for it.
Morlocks, Callisto, Ape, Scaleface, Sunder, Leech, Mariana, and Mole. Also, Sunfire, Feral, Tusk, Kangaroo, Toad, Arclight, Forearm, Copycat, Carmella, Unisconi, Reaper, Blockbuster, and Patricia Tilby's our only appearance. Okay, now I can see what you're saying.
I don't remember, but if I had to choose between Graduation Day's team and One Man's Worth team, I'd probably go with One Man's Worth team. They had a better Blockbuster run. So, well, some of those, but like they had better Warlocks than they did. Like I have Leech in Graduation Day. Get out of here. What's Leech gonna do? I already got a Rogue. No, this was a fun property to always go back to. And easy to get excited to the future.
I was going to ask you, out of this run, what's your favorite? What's your least favorite? But I think that's pretty easy.
Anything from season 5, although Tiny Head, that you had to
That's
remind
the
me that was
worst,
Tiny
yeah.
Head, made me laugh. Weapon lies in videotapes because we said it in
Yeah,
episode,
that's number one.
and the Sentinels is just a great start. And what was Repo Man again?
Canada.
Yeah,
Alpha
Repo
Flight.
Man.
Yeah, Alpha Flight.
Strange Heart too. Anytime they're in Savage Land, is always cool.
Yeah. One Man's Worth is really good.
Mhm.
Fifth Horse. Yeah, it's
You're not
good.
gonna say Red Dawn?
Red Dawn. Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
jam. Love that Red Dawn stuff.
So Deathloop part, just because we learned how salty and thirsty Wolverine was.
Yeah, the Mr. Sinister. It's like Obsession was okay. Same
I
as
get it.
Savage Land, Strange Heart was okay too. I like that it was centered around our Storm, but I just didn't. I don't know if it needed. This one didn't really need 2 episodes. I don't think, but
I stand corrected. If I love Weapon X lies and videotapes, Deadly Reunions is definitely a strong episode.
Yep,
because
But
it's
that
all
was really good,
character.
yeah.
It's all character development and Jubilee being dumb.
So basically, the only one that's not really good at all is the Fifth Horseman, and then Graduation Day is kind of funky.
It's not good either. It's just at least they gave me a cute send off in the final
Exactly.
90 seconds. So yeah, makes sense.
Nobody cares.
Can't allow you to control my mind. Won't allow you to power. Incredible power. Not again. Who are you? You are driving me insane. No! I now bind the Phoenix with the power of... Please, Lalandra, it doesn't have to be... No!